Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So I am very excited for today's pick a card reading because today's reading is a collaboration with Adora's Light, aka Amorinette, aka Cindy, who is a dear friend of mine. She is actually one of the first tarot readers that I ever started watching here on YouTube, and we've been friends for a long time now. Cindy specializes in love readings, twin flame, and soulmate readings, and she even has a selection of 18+ readings on her channel. But not only is she a tarot reader, she is also an artist. You can see her beautiful art featured in her videos. She has an Instagram as well where she shares her art, and she also does art commissions, which I myself have purchased a few times because I just absolutely love her art. And she also has a vlog channel where she shares more about her daily life and talks more in depth about spiritual topics. I really love her insights, and of course, she has amazing insights on love, relationships, and spiritual connections. So, in today's collab, over here, we are going to find out about your twin flame, your soulmate, your person, and then over on Cindy's video, you're gonna see more about your journey together. So here's more just about who they are, getting as many details about them as possible, what the relationship is gonna be like, and Cindy's is more about how you will find each other, how you will come together, the journey that you will walk together. So, just before we get into it, I did want to talk about how to use this reading and why I have made the title Twin Flame / Soulmate / Person, or some variation of that. And that's because I want to include as many different types of people and types of connections as possible in this reading. So of course, for those of you who resonate with the labels of twin flame and soulmate, you resonate with that journey, and you want to find out more about who yours is, you can definitely use this reading to do that. But I also know that many people don't really resonate with those labels or don't care about those labels, and I want this reading to be for you guys as well. So you might think, I don't really care who my soulmate is, I just want to know who is out there for me, who I can have a happy relationship with. Or you might think, I know who my twin flame is, but I don't want to be with them, so I want to know who else is out there for me. There's so many different variations, right? So you can use this reading to find out who your twin flame is, who your soulmate is, but you can also use this reading to find out who you will marry or who your next partner is or something like that. And you're also free to watch multiple of the readings because there could be multiple people out there for you. You could definitely have some options. And in fact, if you do feel strongly drawn to multiple readings, it could be because there are several people who want to make themselves known to you. So as always, I'm sure you guys know on my channel, it is always very much up to you how you choose to use the readings, because at the end of the day, they are here to serve you. They're here to bring clarity to you. So yeah, I just wanted to do that little explanation before we get into it. But now, without further ado, let's take a look at your options. There are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today. And for each reading, we're going to be using a different tarot deck. And I also have a different little object paired with each deck. Today, I did not think of a card to show you guys, so let's go with the random card. I'm gonna show you guys a random card from each deck. So when you're choosing your group, you could be drawn to the back artwork, the front artwork, the particular card that came out. If you're familiar with the meanings, you could be drawn to the object. There's going to be a few different factors to help you pick. And like I said before, you're definitely free to choose as many as you feel drawn to. So without further ado, let's take a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your object is this flower. Your deck is the Dream Visions Tarot. And your random card is the Knight of Cups. Option number 2, your object is this egg. Your deck is the Sleepwalker Tarot, and your random card is the Ten of Pentacles. Number 3, your object is this key. Your deck is the Lucid Dreams Beginner's Tarot, and your random card is the Queen of Wands. And number 4, your object is this cat. Your deck is the Divine Feminine Tarot, and your random card is the Emperor. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one or ones are calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose this flower, which I must say looks stunning in this light, and the Dream Visions Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your twin flame, your soulmate, your person, whomever you would like to know about today. So we're gonna start off by taking a look at the list of things that will be covered in this reading so that you guys can get a good idea before jumping into it. I'm gonna put the details of Cindy's reading here as well. But over here in my reading, we're gonna start by seeing traits about your person. So the physical traits, the personality traits, astrological placements. We're also gonna look into your compatibility together, and that's gonna include your physical compatibility, as well as sexual, if that's something you're interested in, mental compatibility. So this is like how well you get each other, your communication, your humor, things like that, your emotional compatibility, and then your spiritual compatibility. So basically the type of spiritual connection you have, the spiritual lessons you'll help each other with, psychic connection, things like that. And then we're gonna see what you'll do with this person. What are you gonna do together? What will you create together? What will you achieve together? What is your legacy? And then we're gonna get a message directly from them. So what your person would like to tell you right now at the time that you're watching this video. And then we're gonna close off the reading with messages and advice from your guides. And it is my intention to get messages and advice from them about this connection. However, if they wanna talk to you about something else, then they'll talk to you about something else. So I'm gonna leave this last part of the reading kind of open. But group number ones, I have to tell you something about your person that came through intuitively before even getting into the cards. I need to tell you that this person is very attractive. They are beautiful. Regardless of their gender, this is someone that people would describe as beautiful, as gorgeous. They have the symmetry, they have the golden ratios, they have really good bone structure, whatever that means. And I think that this person has a great combination of like conventional attractiveness as well as distinct features that make them look very unique, that make them stand out. Like I could confidently say that this person should be a model. Or maybe they are a model, but striking looks, a striking physical appearance is coming through pretty strongly. So I just wanted to let you know about that. I think that you would have no problem recognizing this person because like the second you lay eyes on them, they will just blow you away, okay? So let's get into the cards. As you can see here, I have 3 piles of cards. I have split up this deck into major arcana, court cards, and the rest of the minor arcana. And I'm gonna shuffle and pull 1 card from each of these piles so that we get a combination of the different kinds of tarot cards. And this is gonna sort of paint the picture of the main traits and the main energy of your person. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the major arcana. Okay. Hello, group number ones, spirit guides. I hope you're having an excellent day. And let's get some cards for group 1 so that they can see the main energy of their person. So what major arcana would most accurately capture their energy? We are starting off with the Justice card. Ooh, okay. And what about court cards? we have the Knight of Wands. And then for the rest of the minor arcana, we have the Five of Wands. Okay, so a few things that I'm noticing right off the bat. Let me just, what is that glare coming from? Okay, let's just do it like that. Okay, so a few things I'm noticing. All of these colors have a greenish, did I say all of these colors? Whatever. All of these cards have a greenish color scheme to them. So this person could have green eyes, or green could look very good on them. They could like wearing a lot of green. I think that this person does tend to dress more simple. This is not really someone who is super flashy and likes to show off. I think that this is someone who is confident, but they have a bit more of a silent confidence. And I'm actually getting that they find people who are like very loud and boastful about like how amazing they are and how much they have. They find it kind of corny. That is the word that they would use. I think that this person has a great sense of humor, and their type of humor is kind of just making dry observations about life and people and finding the humor in it, if that makes sense. Like the way that they perceive things and the way that they observe things and the commentary that they have on the craziness of life or the mundaneness of life, they just have a really funny perspective. And I think they're very good at finding a way to laugh at themselves and laugh at the situation, even when times are hard or stressful. But another thing that I wanted to say about this green color is I think it's bringing focus to the heart chakra or the heart space of this person. I think that this is someone who is incredibly sweet. They have a very warm heart. They're very caring, thoughtful, generous, especially to their loved ones and the people close to them. But I think that this is someone who, it's very important to them that they show acts of kindness to people in their community or even to strangers. This is definitely someone who believes that a small act of kindness can go a long way. A smile can go a long way. Also, excuse me if the messages are kind of all over the place because I'm just saying them as they come through. I'm also noticing that both people who are present on these cards have light colored hair. We have like a whitish blonde color here and like a light brown. So this person could have a lighter color hair. Of course, that's subjective and it could depend on your ethnicity as well. So like, for example, I live in Japan. Most people have like black or dark brown hair. So someone who has medium brown hair could be considered to have a lighter color of hair. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like white or blonde, but like subjectively a lighter color. Yes. I also think that this person is quite tall. They could have, well, this is a Nordic deck, so that maybe that's where it's coming from, but they could have Nordic roots or be from the northern part of their country. So for example, in the United States, that could be like New York or Washington or, you know, some other northern place. We do have a rabbit present here, so this person could be a year of the rabbit, which is actually this year, 2023. Obviously, that's not going to be for everyone, but it could be a confirmation for those of you who have a specific person in mind. So someone born in the year of the rabbit, if we just go back 12 years from now, it's like, well, maybe not 12, but 1999, I think, 1987, and then you just keep going back 12 years like that. But the rabbit could also be a symbol of your person having a lot of potential. For some reason, I feel like they're kind of at the beginning stage of a journey in their life. So they're just kind of starting to get their life's plan into motion. So maybe they've just moved into the career that they want to be in. Maybe they're just starting to develop their skills or just starting to build their business. And there's a feeling of they're at a point in their journey where they just started to do what they actually want to do. I feel like there was an earlier stage where they were doing something that they didn't really care about, they didn't really like it, but it made them good money or it brought them good connections. And so they happily did it because they saw how it could help them later on in their journey. And it's funny, like the example that came to my mind, because we know this person is very attractive. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a model, like it's fine, it's not really my passion, but it brings in good money to put me through school so that I can get my degree and then do the job that I actually want to do. So it's like they've done something in the past that was just to like get them to a certain stage, and now they can do what they truly want. Rabbits can also be a sign of speed. So I think that this could be someone who like talks quickly or walks quickly. They could be a runner. I do feel like with all of this fire energy, this is probably someone who is physically active, who enjoys physical activity. They could also kind of have a hard time standing still. And this is someone who, when they work hard, they produce huge results. They're just a very capable person. Whatever they set their mind to, the results that they produce are just like incredible. But I think they have to really like hunker down and put their mind to it. We also have a bear here, so I think that this person could be cuddly. You know, we spoke about this person being physically active. They could also be very like physical touchy. Physical touch could be one of their love languages. I do also think they have a big body, like they're tall. They're tall or they're like built well. You see how this bear is like towering over the human. I think that, yeah, they're snuggly. I think that they're protective of their loved ones, not in a possessive way or anything like that, but it's very important to them to like look out for their loved ones and nurture them and make sure they're okay. Bears can also be a symbol of authority, so I think that this person could be an excellent leader, and I do think that one of their aspirations in life is to be like a manager, a boss, a CEO, to be in a high position of power. I don't think that they're there yet. I think that's like more in the future, but they are actively working towards that now. I think that there is some kind of duality in this person as well, because we have Libra energy here with justice, and then this Knight of Wands with impulsiveness is making me think of Aries. And I'm just thinking of how Libra and Aries energy can butt heads, because Aries energy is quite impulsive, wants to act first and think later, whereas Libra energy wants to really weigh out all the options and consider everyone's opinion and consider everyone's well-being. I feel like this person definitely has strong fire placements, and then they have another placement that kind of like reins them in or like holds them back, because they definitely have a chaotic side to them, and then they have that rational side that's like, okay, hold on, like let's not light fireworks in our living room, like let's not jump off the balcony, you know, just let's not be chaotic. So they have that kind of, those forces that are opposing within them. So yeah, this is Libra energy we have here with justice. This is Leo energy with the Five of Wands. I do feel like they have strong fire in them, because 2 out of these 3 cards are fire. So actually, I do want to clarify these cards with some astrological cards, so we'll see more about their potential placements. I just saw 1331, by the way, which is a mirroring number, 1331. So that could be a significant number for you guys. That is a number that makes me feel masculine. So I think this person has quite a bit of masculine energy in them. You know, Libra is a masculine sign, being an air sign, and the fire signs are masculine as well. Ooh, look at this. We have Aries. So yeah, I think strong Aries or strong fire for sure. We have Pisces, the dreamer, mystical, intuitive, psychic, romantic, sacrifice, sensitive, fantasies, escapism, empathy, artistic, adaptive, addictions, and ruler of the 12th house. And then we have Pluto with rebirth. So some Pisces coming through, also Scorpio with this Pluto. And in fact, the number I just saw, 1331, the number 13 is the number of the death card, which is Scorpio. So there's that energy going on as well. With Aries clarifying the Justice card, this is very interesting. I think that your person, when they're in a group, they just kind of naturally take the leader position. Especially, I'm hearing they wouldn't fight to have the leader position, but they're like, okay, if no one else is standing up to take the lead, then I'll do it. Or if we can't come to a decision, I'll be the one to make it, or I'll be the one to facilitate us making it. So they're very comfortable in these kind of leadership positions. I feel like they are the first person to volunteer for something. They're the first person to like raise their hand in class. It seems like they're an active participator, you know? So when the teacher, I don't know if this person is a student, but it's just an example. When the teacher's like, who can answer this question for me? If they know the answer, like their hand's going up because they want to participate. Or at work, like if they're in a meeting, they would be the first person to like, oh, that's a really good point. And, or I have a suggestion, or I have a question. They want to be involved. And if people are struggling to come to an agreement, they would take it upon themselves to be like, okay, seems like we're kind of struggling to get the ball rolling here. May I propose blah, blah, blah. So they're good at like getting things moving. They're good at solving disputes. They're good at getting a decision made. They're good at getting stuff done in a way that makes everybody happy. And I think they would be very good with indecisive people because they're like, oh, if you can't decide, I'll just decide for you. So if you're the type of person who like can't decide where you want to go or what you want to eat or what you want to wear, they'll be like, oh, you should do that. I just had this image maybe one day in the future, or if you're already with this person, this might have happened where like you're watching a tarot reading and you can't pick and you're like, babe, can you pick a number between 1 and 4? And they're like, 3, I got you. Like they step up and get the stuff done that needs to get done, basically. Yeah, and there's something about this person's upper body, I think, that is nice. They definitely have a great face with a great like bone structure. They could also have nice hair. Nice shoulders, arms, collarbone, chest. Like I feel like things in the upper body are like very attractive, very charming. Yeah, this person is also very thorough. So they do jobs very well. They leave nothing unturned. And maybe that's like Pluto, Scorpio energy because they like to go very, very deep. You know, they leave no thing unturned. So an example that I can think of is like if they were going to go to a job interview, they can prepare for like every single question. Like, oh, if they ask me this, I'm going to say this. If they ask me this, I'm going to say this. So we do have the word impulsiveness, but I don't think they're the type to really wing stuff. It seems like they're well prepared. They think of every possible scenario, not in a way where they're like worrying about everything, but they're just prepared. Or like when they're packing for a trip, they're like, okay, I might need this for this weather, or like I might need, I don't know. They just think of everything that they might need to bring. It seems like they're prepared, they're well thought out, they're very thorough. That's the kind of feeling that I get. With the Knight of Wands impulsiveness, clarified by Pisces, yes, there is a little bit of chaotic energy going on. The Pisces energy can be kind of all over the place. I think that if this person has impulsive behavior, it could be like we do have addictions here, so this person could get like tunnel vision on things. They could have periods where they're like really productive and really on top of stuff, and then they like binge Netflix for 3 days, or they like play video games all day, or they smoke or drink or something like that. Obviously, if you have any things like that that are deal breakers, it wouldn't be that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be with this person. But it's like, I feel like when they get into a vibe, they get really into it. So they're not really a short burst kind of person. It's like they'll be really, really into this for a period, and then they'll be really, really into that for a period. And they kind of have to check themselves to make sure that they don't get into like a chaotic vibe or a disordered vibe. But I think in general, they're pretty good at staying on top of things. And this is someone who they like get lost in things. So if they're playing a game that they really like, they get lost in the game. They really get sucked into the world of that game. Or if there's a show they really like, they will binge the whole thing because they're so invested in it. If they find their favorite song, they will listen to it like 100 times. They do have that kind of intensity, and I think that's like the impulsivity, Mars energy of Aries, and also like the intense, deep Scorpio energy. They have that kind of vibe, or like if they become interested in a certain topic, they will learn everything about it. They really go deep into things. That's the vibe. But yeah, I feel like with the Pluto clarifying battles, this might be an energy of theirs that they kind of fight, because they're like, okay, hold on, like we don't have the luxury to binge 8 seasons of this show right now. We have work to get done, or like, this is not an effective use of my time. I need to be a more well-rounded person. So it kind of feels like they fight that intense part of them, or the tunnel vision-y part of them. We have the number 27 here. So this person could be 27, or they could be born on the 27th of a month. Maybe March 27, because that's like an Aries. We also have the number 8 here. So like August 27, that could be an important date, which would be Virgo. But that could also be indicating, did I say that they are 27? I think so. There could be a 2-year age gap between you guys, or a 7-year age gap, or 9 years if we add up these digits. 27-year age gap would probably be very, very, very few of you, if anyone. But, you know, hey, it is there. This could also indicate a life path 2 person, or a life path 7 person, or a life path 9 person. But yeah, this is what I see for the main energies of them. So I'm gonna move these over like this, and we're finally gonna get into the tarot deck that you guys chose. So that is the Mystic Dreams tarot deck, which I love. She is stunning, and she looked very good with this flower. You guys have good taste. Personally, my eyes were going towards that combination a lot. They just like the secondary colors of this deck and the colors of the flower. It's beautiful. I don't even know where this flower came from. I think I stole it from my house in Canada and brought it back. All right. So the next thing that we're going to see is the compatibility between you and this person. All right, so compatibility. What is the physical compatibility between group number 1 and their person? The 3 of Swords. What is the mental compatibility? The communication compatibility? The 9 of Wands? The emotional compatibility? we have the Seven of Wands, and spiritual, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, and then we want to see, what will you do together? What will you make together? What will you achieve together? The Queen of Wands. Wow. And then what do they want to say to you? The World. Okay, let's also look at the bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck energy, we have the Six of Pentacles. So whether you guys resonate with or care about the labels or not, this is a soulmate. It's clear that you guys are equal counterparts from this Six of Pentacles as well as the Two of Pentacles. And there is a common spirit guide between the two of you who is helping to bring the two of you together. So probably when we get to the last part of this reading, messages and advice from your guides, we are going to be hearing from that common spirit guide that the two of you share. I think that the two of you really bring value into each other's lives. You bring stability, you bring a sense of security. It is going to take a bit of work, and we'll get into that, but you help each other see your own worth and feel safe. You show each other generosity. You help to teach each other that it's okay to ask for help. You help each other to become comfortable with receiving. And you have a beautiful exchange of energy of equal giving and receiving. And I think that the two of you are going to make positive contributions to your community together, like raising money or doing volunteer work. And you're going to help those in need together. All right, so let's get into your compatibility, starting with the Three of Swords. So we have a Swords card here, which has to do with the mental side of things, the intellectual side of things. So this is telling me that and maybe this is both of you, one or both of you, no, I think it's both of you. The more you develop your mental connection and your communication, the better your physical relationship will become. I will say that the Three of Swords can sometimes often talk about a sadness or a disappointment. And so for those of you who are sexual people, it could be that the first time you are with this person physically, it's kind of disappointing, if I'm being honest. It's like it wasn't giving what you hoped it would. But the good news is that this is easily fixed with communication. So it's a matter of how comfortable do you feel around each other, that you can open up and talk about what is working and what isn't working and what you want more of and what you want less of. And the more you can open up and the more you can talk about it, like your physical relationship is just going to get better and better and better. And I often think that these kinds of obstacles can often make for something that's even better. So, okay, let me give an example of this. Let's say someone's a student and they easily get 70s, 75s without studying. So they're like, oh, that's pretty good. I don't need to study. And then let's say there's someone else who gets like 50s. They're the one who's going to be like, oh shit, I have to study, don't I? And then they study really hard and start to get 80s and 90s. So it's like, because they put in that extra work, they're actually going to end up better than those people in the middle getting the 70s that are not studying because they're like comfortable with where they are. I hope that makes sense. So it's like, because you might have these troubles at the beginning, you put in the extra effort of communication and getting to know each other, and then your physical relationship would become even better than, well, I don't know what the average is, but exceptional, okay? Exceptional. So yeah, it takes some time, it takes communication, it takes openness, but it gets better and better over time. But in general, I think that there's something very healing about the physical touch that you have between each other. You know, we have the bear, I'm thinking of bear hugs. You know, this can talk about just when you're feeling down, when you're having a shit day, a bear hug from each other can just do wonders. It can be the best medicine. I think physical touch between the two of you feels like very warm and fuzzy, very, very safe. I think that you're also going to heal insecurities regarding like your physical body with each other and physical intimacy. And that's something that's going to come out the more you talk about your physical relationship. You could open up about like painful past experiences, open up about insecurities that you have, and sort of heal those together, and then create a relationship where you can be more open, more free, more carefree in your physical relationship. Because you're not held back by insecurities, you're not held back by like pain from the past. So yeah, this takes work, but it's work that is very worth it. So moving on now, we have your mental compatibility, your communication. This is also something that will take work, I think. The Nine of Wands is generally, it's not like the easiest energy. I think that, how can I describe it? It's like, okay, I'm going to skip ahead and come back to this. For your spiritual compatibility, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is one of the cards that really showed me that you guys are equals and that you have a very, very sturdy spiritual connection, that you both bring in equal effort to this connection. So as souls, like your bond is inseparable, but I feel like perhaps you came into this world, you incarnated as humans that are kind of different from each other. So maybe different culture, different age group, different upbringing, and these things kind of shape the way that you think, the way that you communicate, the way that you react. And so it's not like it's taking work because you're incompatible, but just that it takes that extra work to understand where the other person is coming from. My partner and I are kind of like this because we are from completely different countries and we have a bit of an age gap as well. So there's just some things that like we don't agree about, but at the same time we respect each other's opinion. But it just takes a bit of extra effort because we can't, well, you shouldn't do this at all, but we really can't assume like, oh, you're just going to see things my way or you're just going to agree with me on this. We really have to explain everything. Like, this is how I feel because XYZ. This is how I see things because XYZ. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was coming at it from this way because blah, 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 blah. So yes, that takes more work, but then you have such a deeper understanding and appreciation of each other at the end. And it is work that really is worthwhile and really is fulfilling. And oh, I'm getting a little bit emotional when I talk about it. It's really nice to have a connection like that. And I think in some ways it allows you to get to know each other deeper than if everything was just easy and you were like exactly on the same page all the time. It gives you that opportunity to strengthen your bond. And I think that that's kind of what is going on here. Like, you're two souls that are very, very similar, but you just happen to incarnate quite differently. And that was probably the plan, as a testament to see how strong your soul bond is. Even if there's some like physical barriers or communication barriers, or like a difference in the way you process feelings, you can overcome all of those because at the end of the day, the respect that you have each other for each other is there, and the desire to understand each other is there, and the soul love is there. And so that's going to trump all of these challenges. You know, I'm reading the Seven of Wands kind of similarly as well. And this is actually a card that very often in like soulmate twin flame readings makes me think of 3D barriers, you know, like different culture, different age, different, I don't know, religion or whatever it might be. So yes, that is what I see for your compatibility. So moving on, we have what will you do together, create together, achieve together. The first thing that my mind is going to, or my eyes are going to, is the black cat. So I think that the two of you will have an animal together. We have the black cat, we have the black bear. So I think that this animal will be black in color or dark. Well, actually, we do have a little white rabbit. Maybe you'll have two. Maybe you'll have two animals together. And interestingly, actually, someone who commented on my video taught me this, and then my Vietnamese friend confirmed it for me. But the year of the rabbit in Vietnam is actually the year of the cat. So year of the rabbit is significant. And actually, if it's not that this person is a year of the rabbit, it could be that something significant is going to happen in this connection this year in 2023, because we are in the year of the rabbit or the year of the cat right now. So you could meet this person this year if you haven't met them yet, or move to the next stage of your relationship if they're already in your life. But yeah, it could be that this year 2023 is very significant for you guys. In terms of what you will achieve together, and we spoke about this a little bit before, but you guys are just excellent cheerleaders of each other, and you really, really help each other to become confident, to overcome fears and insecurities that hold you back from living your best life and going after the blessings and opportunities that you really deserve. I think that after coming together with this person, the world feels a lot bigger because you feel like you deserve a seat at any table, or that you deserve a position in any field, or you deserve any opportunity, like that any space has something for you and you deserve to be there. So you're not like, oh, that's not for me, I'm not good enough for that. You're like, if I want that and I set my mind to it, like, yeah, let's do it. Nothing is like off limits for you. It feels like the world is your oyster. And so I think that's what you, what do you call it? Bestow upon each other? No, but you get it. That's the kind of mindset that you help to cultivate in each other, because you just hype each other up so much. I think you both find each other very attractive and very inspiring as well. You inspire them a lot with what you do. They inspire you a lot with what they do. And I think this is a relationship where there's no comparison and no jealousy. Like, you don't get jealous of each other. You don't compete with each other. You don't get jealous of like third parties, because you just feel so secure with each other. And you're like, no one's put in the work like we have to understand each other. No one has seen the deep parts and corners and crevices of each other like we have. And so you don't get like insecure, because you would never feel like anyone is competition. Like, no one has the bond like we have. Why should I get, why should I get pressed about someone liking your picture? Or like, why should I get pressed about that pretty person over there? Or like this person who has a crush on you? Like, I don't care. You feel very secure in your relationship. And something that just came up, which kind of makes me sad to say, for some of you, your guide wants you to know that this person will not try to make you jealous. The reason that makes me sad is because, you would hope that that's a given. If someone cares about you and loves you, why would they try to make you feel jealous or feel like you have competition? But if you've been through that, I'm sorry that you dated a piece of crap. No offense, or maybe offense, I don't know. Or just someone who did crappy things. I shouldn't negate their whole existence, but yeah. So yeah, boosting confidence within each other, boosting creativity as well. I think that talking and having conversations with each other gives you a lot of ideas for your own work. So for example, if you're a writer, you know, the conversation that you have with your partner over dinner could give you ideas for your book. Just hearing about their life, hearing about their story, or even just little comments they make. You're like, oh my gosh, you just solved my writer's block. Like, that's what should happen to my character next. And they're like, they don't know what they just did and just going along with it. Like, yep. Like, they were just telling you about Jeff at work and it helped your writer's block. So I think just by talking to each other, you give each other a lot of like creative ideas and creative inspiration. So there's really this feeling of charging each other and empowering each other. In terms of what you'll create and achieve together, we spoke a little bit about, like, I think you guys are doing some kind of fundraising or charity work or work for your community. You're helping those in need. And with the Six of Pentacles and Justice here, there's something about you guys are leveling out the playing field. So you're doing something to make sure that everyone gets an equal opportunity. For example, like creating a scholarship for people who are lower income so that they can have the same educational opportunities and have the same career opportunities as high income people. That's just one example. But yeah, there's something about, even with the Two of Pentacles, like leveling out the playing field, kind of fixing injustices in the opportunities that people get. And for some reason, I think it has something to do with like financial assistance so that people can like get educated or so that people can pursue their dreams. So maybe that's something you or your person or both of you are passionate about. Also, look, this person is just serving cheekbone. I mean, I don't think it's a person, but I just saw 4114, by the way, which is another mirrored number. Mirrored numbers could be the way that your person's higher self communicates with you or that this guide communicates with you. But yeah, facial structure, very nice. And then for what they want to say to you, we have the World. Maybe this is kind of cheesy, but I think that they're saying, you are my world. I think that you're super cool. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud to know you and be your partner. I can't wait to show you off to the whole world and everyone that I know. Or this could be them saying that they want to explore the world with you and see all the sights. They want to do a lot of firsts with you. A lot of, you know, bucket list things with you. So, you know, go to places they've never been, have experiences they've never had. Even though the World is the last major arcana, it often makes me think of firsts, like new experiences. So they definitely want to go on adventures with you. Yeah, it's admiration, being your world. Oh, world can also talk about foreigners and different cultures. So maybe there is like a cultural gap here, or this is just them reaffirming that whatever differences we might have, like we're gonna work through them. We're gonna make it work without having to like compromise, without ever, you know, disrespecting or minimizing our differences. Like we're gonna create a relationship and create an environment where our differences can coexist and can be seen, because our differences make us stronger. They really do. We can accomplish anything. So let's finish off the reading now with messages and advice from your spirit guide. So we're starting off with bigger picture. We have the number 30 and we had 27 here. So for those of you, maybe you're in this age range or you will be, but the ages between 27 and 30, I think are important. You will never be free until you free yourself from the prison of your own false thoughts. Zoom out. A shift in perspective is needed in this moment to gain clarity about a current situation you feel stuck on. We have, embrace. Through each other you find the missing pieces. And there is that bear hug. Yeah, there's something very healing about the embrace between the two of you. Like a hug that you share can really fix anything. The bigger picture here, it could be a message about the relationship where you help each other to get out of your head. You call out each other's false narratives, which I think a lot of the insecurities that you have is based on like false narratives that you tell yourself about yourself. And I think this person helps you to see the truth. With bigger picture, with zooming out, it's like this relationship can help you stop nitpicking at yourself. Like, this isn't good enough, this isn't good enough, and just see the bigger, beautiful, full being that is you. We have, oh, I didn't read this, embodying my soul. I have a right to be excited. I noticed that we have a repeating letter E, embodying and embrace, and actually EMB is repeating, embrace, embody. So E, M, and B could be significant letters. Is there like a name that has all of those? Probably. EMB, or one or several of those could be initials of a first, middle, or last name. I'm just thinking of Melbourne for some reason, because it has like all of those letters in it. And what was I gonna say? Right, first, middle, or last name, or it could be like the name of a city, the name of a country that has those letters. And yeah, I'm like trying to think of other words that have those letters at the same time that I'm talking. That's why I'm like kind of freezing up. It could also be like letters in the name of a company or something like that. But I really like this message. I have a right to be excited. I think that this is your guide, like telling you, give yourself permission to get your hopes up about this connection. Give yourself permission to feel excited, whether this person is in your life yet or not, regardless of how things might be going right now. Like, allow yourself to feel excited and to feel hopeful. There's a feeling of like getting stuck in your head and nitpicking every detail, possibly like all the things that could go wrong. And maybe you're kind of holding yourself back from just freely desiring this connection, hoping for it, getting excited about it. Like, allow yourself to feel those things. It's a beautiful thing. It's not silly. It's not like dumb. I know sometimes we're like, oh, like you shouldn't want love that much. Focus on yourself. But like, if it's making you happy, that's a beautiful thing. And then we have choose love. Exactly. You always have a choice. Make yours with love. There's definitely encouragements of self-love here, which I think is coming simultaneously from your guide as well as your person. Being more deliberate about the thoughts you choose to hold and the stories that you choose to tell yourself. Really ask yourself, like, is this a loving thing to say about myself? Or the choice that I'm making right now to beat myself up? Like, I mean, this is an obvious question, but like, am I doing this with love? No. Am I treating myself with love right now? Is this thought that I'm holding, is it loving towards myself to entertain this thought? If you get into that habit, well, it might be hard at first, but I think that it will become easier. Like, no, this is not loving towards myself, and therefore it is not productive. Because even if we're having a thought that is critical of ourselves, like, it's possible to think like, okay, maybe this isn't good. Maybe we need to make a change here. Maybe this isn't working. Maybe this isn't helpful. We can have those thoughts with love and compassion towards ourselves. There's never a reason and there's never a need to have unloving thoughts towards yourself or to treat yourself with a lack of love. There is never a reason for that. And there is never a reason or a need to punish yourself. That is never the right answer. That is never productive. That is never helpful. And that is never warranted. I think, yeah, this is mainly about you need to treat yourself with more love. Signed, your person and your spirit guide. There's never a reason to deprive yourself of self-love or to punish yourself or to like withhold love from yourself. That doesn't help anyone or anything. So as obvious as it might seem in some cases, I think there's a suggestion to get into that habit of like asking yourself, is this thought loving towards me? Is this action loving towards me? Is this mindset loving towards me? And we want to start actively choosing things that are loving. Allowing yourself to feel excited and to feel happy and to get your hopes up and to enjoy love and enjoy love readings and enjoy thinking about your person. That is being loving towards yourself because you're allowing yourself to do the things that feel good. Yeah. So, my lovely group number ones, I feel like I've said the word love so much over the past couple minutes, but these are all of the messages that I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you feel like doing that, and definitely check out Cindy's video as well. As a reminder, she's going to be looking more at your twin flame soulmate journey or the journey to your person. So if you'd like to know more about the journey and how it all comes together, definitely check out her video. It's going to be linked down below for you. If you guys enjoy my content and you would like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post regular pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have over 50 exclusive pick a card readings plus 2 new ones every month, and you guys get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that's at the start of these videos, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. I really appreciate your support. My group number ones, I'm sending you so much love to your person, to your spirit guide, to all of your loved ones and your whole spiritual team, both here on earth and in the spirit realms. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the egg, which I'm pretty sure is a jade egg, it's from my grandma, this is going to be a reading. So I'm going to start by showing you guys a list of all of the stuff that we're going to cover so that you can get a good idea of what you're getting into. Here she is. I'm going to put Cindy's info here as well, the breakdown of her reading. But over here, we're going to start by seeing all of the traits of your person. So that includes physical traits, personality traits, astrological placements. Then we're going to look into your compatibility together. So that is going to include your physical compatibility, which includes your sexual connection, if that's something you're interested in. Then we have the mental connection, and this includes your humor, your communication, how you understand each other. Then we have your emotional compatibility, and then spiritual, which is like your soul connection or your psychic connection and things like that. And then we're gonna see what you will do together, what you'll make together, what you'll achieve together, something that they want to tell you right now. So we're going to get a message directly from your person, and then we're going to close off the reading with messages and advice from your spirit guides. My intention with this was that it will be messages and advice about this connection, but if there's by any chance your guides want to talk to you about something else, then this will be like their time to come through and let you know whatever they want to let you know. So that is the reading today. And as you can see, we have these 3 piles of cards laid out. I've broken up this deck into major arcana court cards and the rest of the minor arcana. So we're gonna shuffle and pull one card from each of these piles, and that combination of 3 cards will represent your person's main energy, their main traits. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with the major arcana. So I will ask your spirit guides to come through. Hello, group 2's guides. What major arcana would best describe the overall energy of group number 2's person? Woo! Okay, so we have the High Priestess, and this has the keyword empowerment. I also have a visual of a pig, so this person could be born in the year of the pig, which I'm actually a year of the pig. It's 1995. I won't say all the years, but 1995 is the year of the pig, and you can just add or subtract 12 years. But the pig could also be a sign that this person is very strong-willed, hardworking, pretty lucky. So when they set out to do something, it usually brings good results. And they could be a little bit stubborn as well, but very determined and very perseverant. A court card. Whoa, all right. We have the Page of Cups with playfulness. That is very sweet. And then a minor arcana. We have the Six of Swords with boundaries. Okay, so in terms of zodiac placements, I am going to pull astrology cards later, but just what I see so far, we have quite a bit of water energy. The High Priestess indicates water signs. The Page of Cups indicates water signs. Six of Swords is Aquarius energy. More specifically, I believe it is Mercury in Aquarius. And actually, if you're a Pisces, you can have Mercury in Aquarius. So this water energy, for some, it could be indicating a Pisces with a Mercury in Aquarius. That's very, very specific, but do let me know if that happens to be the placements of your person, because that would be really cool. But anyway, so far we have water and Aquarius energy coming through. We have the Page of Cups here. I think this is indicating that in terms of physical traits, I feel like your person is kind of, they're either petite, so they could be kind of on the shorter side or on the more slender side, or both, or they could have a very youthful look to them, or all of the above. I think that this person has a lighter complexion, regardless of their ethnicity. I feel like it's just on the lighter side, which is very subjective, of course. I think that they have kind of cute round cheeks, and they could have rosy cheeks as well. I think that they have big eyes. They have a tall nose, meaning like the bridge of their nose seems to be high. And I think this might sound kind of weird, but I think their eyebrows are close to their eyes, like low-ish eyebrows. Yeah, I also think that they have nice lips. It looks like they have wavy hair, and it could be medium length or long. And we have the colors yellow and orange here. I don't know how many people naturally have yellow or orange hair, but could be, or this could be an indication that this person dyes their hair or used to dye their hair or something like that. I think that this person tends to wear like looser clothing, baggy clothing or oversized clothing or flowy kind of clothing. I think that they focus on comfort when they dress. I'm also getting Taurus vibes from this person, and they seem to be very down to earth. Yeah, this is a very down to earth person. They don't this is not someone, they don't make a great first impression because they simply do not care about flatteries and niceties and small talking. They're very much like a what you see is what you get. So if you like this person from the first meeting, yeah, I shouldn't say they don't make a good first impression. That's not fair. But it's more like they're not going to go out of their way to make a good first impression. Like, why would I put on a mask or put on an appearance to make a good impression? Because then if we do end up having a long-term relationship, that's going to be exhausting. Like, no, I'm going to be my real self from the start, and what you see is what you get. So with this person, if you like them from the first meeting, you're probably going to like them forever. And if you don't like them from the first meeting, you're probably not going to like them, because they just show you right off the bat what they're really all about. They don't really have time to pretend to be something else. So I think this is someone who's very comfortable with being their true self. I think this is someone who is quite honest, but they're not necessarily a sharer, if that makes sense. If this person ever... It's not lying, it's just that sometimes they might omit things or they might choose not to share information, but they don't go around saying false things. They don't go around deceiving others. It's just that they might omit information. I feel like this person is quite private, and they're just very unbothered by what people think about them. So like, if they found out that someone had some opinion about them, or someone was starting a rumor, or someone thought XYZ about them, it just doesn't really bother them, because they have such a strong sense of who they are, and they can't even be bothered to go over and be like, I heard you were saying this about me and it's not true. I'm actually like this. It's like, I don't care. Like, just let them do whatever they want. Like, this person just doesn't want to waste time and energy on stuff that ultimately doesn't matter. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that they're extremely genuine, down to earth, secure within themselves. They're just very real. And that is really like a breath of fresh air. I think that this is someone who is in touch with both their masculine and feminine energy. They're in touch with both their like rational and logical side, as well as their more soft and emotional side. And I think they embrace both parts of them. With the number 2 here, and even the number 6, like these even numbers, it is making me think of balance and duality and inner harmony. This is definitely someone who has cultivated their inner harmony. For some reason, I just got middle child vibes from this person. I think growing up, this person was very much just like off in their own world. They might have enjoyed spending a lot of time alone, or that was just how the cookie crumbled. Like, maybe both of their parents worked a lot, or maybe they had a single parent, and maybe their siblings were like off doing stuff. It seems like they spent a lot of time alone, and for some it might have been by choice, for others maybe not, but they definitely learned how to keep themselves entertained, and they learned how to be their own best friend, and how to build themselves up, and how to kind of regulate themselves. So if they were feeling scared or stressed or anxious or sad, they were able to bring themselves into a better place emotionally and mentally. So I feel like this is also an incredibly mentally strong person. They're very responsible for themselves. They're able to, take accountability for their actions. They're not afraid of criticism. They're not afraid of being called out. And I should say here, this is not the type of person who's like, screw everyone else's opinion. It's just that they're selective, and they recognize like, oh, these kind of comments and criticisms and opinions are constructive, and they can serve me, and they can make me a better person, and then this is just nonsense and I don't have to deal with that. I think they have that really good kind of filter of like what to entertain and what to give their energy to and what to ignore. And I think they also have a pretty good BS filter. Like, you can't get much past this person. Them being a high priestess, they kind of see everything. And that could be kind of frustrating. Like, they see everything, but sometimes they don't reveal a whole lot about themselves, which is also kind of giving me Scorpio vibes. I could also see this person being a Capricorn for some reason. But I think that you have to get pretty close with this person and establish a pretty like stable relationship before they start divulging a lot about their personal life and their past and like their deepest desires and their deepest emotions. But yeah, it seems like this person is pretty happy keeping to themselves. I think this is someone who could be quite happy on their own. So, you know, they're not choosing a partner because like, oh, I don't want to be alone, or I need a partner to be complete. It's like they'll choose a partner when they truly love that person and when they truly feel like this connection is adding to their life. That's like the level of security that this person has. This person, there's quite strong indications of them being spiritual. At the very least, I think this is someone who is interested in spiritual things or interested in the occult, even if it's not something that they actively practice or study or consume at this time. I do think it's something that kind of piques their interest and they would like to know more about it. So if you're quite a spiritual person, I think they'll love to hear all about your journey and to hear all about your insights. I think this is someone who you'll find that they ask really good questions and really insightful questions, because they're not the small talky type. They're not like, I'm going to ask the same 5 questions that everyone asks on a first date. They're like, they want to really get to know you, and they ask questions that make you think, you know. They'll ask you something about yourself and you're like, wow, that's a good question. And you kind of get to reflecting, and they're really good at pulling out like the deep, beautiful nuggets of who people are. I think that a raven could be a sign of this person. And actually, I'm thinking like raven, they could have black hair, or at least naturally black hair. But yeah, if you ever see ravens or crows, I think that it's a sign of your person. Like their higher self is watching over you. Their higher self is protecting you. This person seems quite mature. They are definitely more on the quiet side, but they do know how to have fun and be silly. With this Page of Cups here, with this playfulness, I think once they come out of their shell, they're a little bit more like silly, but I don't see them being like loud and boisterous and super talkative. They're more playful in like a cute way, if that makes sense. Like in a, not shy, but just more mellow. Yeah. They're definitely a very mellow personality. It's very calming to be around them. And with the 6 of Swords, very clear communicator. Again, this is like honesty. I think we're going to look into your compatibility more, but it seems like mentally and emotionally, I think the two of you will get along really well. You just kind of have the same vibe about you. It's very easy to vibe together and just be together. You don't have to constantly be doing the same things. You don't have to fill all the silences. It's very easy to just coexist and like be doing your own thing and, you know, check in on each other every now and then. Are you good? Do you want me to bring you a drink or a snack? Or are you hot? Are you cold? It's just nice to have them in your area. I think cohabiting with this person will be really nice. Things just feel quite nice and easy and breezy with them. Yeah. This person will move to you. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like moving in with you. You could move in quite early on in your relationship just because it feels very right and you're very sure about it. But I got this feeling of like them moving to your city from somewhere else, or moving to the city where you live from somewhere else. So for example, well, for some it could be like a long distance thing and then they move to be with you. But it's like if you lived in, I don't know, like if you live in LA, for example, and then this person moved to LA from freaking, I don't know, North Carolina. And then, you know, it's like they relocated to be close to you and that's how you guys meet. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Sorry, took a while. And yeah, I think boundaries makes a lot of sense as well. This person definitely has quite healthy boundaries for themselves. So let's take a look at some astrological cards to clarify the High Priestess. Oh, we have Mercury. To clarify the Page of Cups, we have Comet with unexpected, disruption, disturbances, significant events, realignment, uncertainty, abnormalities, unknowns, messages, and wild card. And then to clarify the Six of Swords, we have 10th house with authority. Okay, so we have the number 48 here. This could be indicating that, well, for some of you, this person could be 48. Or you could have a 4-year age gap or an 8-year age gap between this person, or 12 years if you add up these 2 digits. Or it could be indicating that they are a life path 4 or a life path 8. These could also be dates like April 8th or August 4th or something like that. A lot of different ways to interpret this number. And let's talk about this High Priestess and Mercury. This is just psychic energy. Plain and simple. This person has psychic abilities for sure. And that's probably why subconsciously they feel drawn to spiritual things, or they feel drawn to the occult. Probably their higher self is like gently guiding them towards recognizing that side of themselves. I feel like they don't realize this about themselves yet, but yeah, this is like a very powerful psychic, straight up. And so I think it will be lovely to have you as a partner. I'm assuming if you're watching a tarot reading that you are open to psychic abilities, to, I guess you could say supernatural. It sounds kind of weird, supernatural abilities. And so I think you'll be a great partner for each other, actually, to explore your spiritual and psychic gifts. That's definitely something that they'll be open about. That's probably another reason of why they can read people so well. Like, yes, they are observant, but I think it goes a bit deeper than that. I think that this person experiences claircognizance where they just know things about people. And there may be times when you're getting to know them where you're like, wait a minute, did I tell you that about me? Like, how did you know that? And they're like, what? I thought you told me already. And then you might think like, oh my gosh, were they like stalking my social media? And no, it's just, they have the clair going on. They have claircognizance. And maybe you guys have that as well. But yeah, this is definitely giving me claircognizance vibes. With Page of Cups and Comet, this is kind of fun. This is kind of silly because Page of Cups can indicate unpredictable energy. And then here we have like unexpected, wild card, abnormalities. I feel like every now and then this person surprises you because it seems like their personality is very much one way. And then they do something that seems like so completely out of that. I'm trying to think of a good example, but let's say this is like a very serious and mature person, and then out of nowhere they'll say like the dumbest, most childish joke, and I think it's like these little cute, childlike, silly things that they do that could seem out of character, but it's just another side of them popping out. Like maybe they're like, oh, they're super like responsible grown up, but they really like, I don't know, they really love watching High School Musical to unwind after a long day. Like, it's just these unexpected cute things about them where you see their inner child pop out, and it's really, really sweet. And I think that this is a side of them that they'll get to explore more in the relationship with you, because while I do think that, you know, serious, mature, responsible side of them, that is a very real and valid side of them, so is their more playful, silly inner child. And that is a side of them that I think hasn't come out as much, or hasn't gotten to come out as much throughout their life. So they get to experience and unfold that more softer and playful side through the relationship with you. That's really sweet. And I think your positive reassurance of the childlike parts of them will help that inner child to come out more, if that makes sense. So, you know, I don't think you guys are the partner to be like,
oh my God, like you're eating mini marshmallows on your ice cream. Like, are you 6 years old? Like, you'll be like, oh my God, that's so cute. Like, can I try some too? You know, like you nurture and let that inner child come out. So that's another really nice part of your relationship. And then we have the Six of Swords clarified by the 10th house with authority. So I think that this person, okay, they have a job. It's a good job. Like, it pays well. It's a good work-life balance, but it is below their qualifications. Like, they could do a much higher job or a much more demanding job because they're capable of it, but they just like don't want to. It's like they don't have that ambition to go as high as they possibly can because they would rather prioritize their mental health and prioritize their work-life balance, you know, keep healthy boundaries in their life. And also they don't want to just like live their whole life in the hamster wheel and, you know, feed the machine and line the man's pockets even more. Like, they don't want to feed into that. So, you know, with this person's brains and with this person's capabilities, they probably could have gotten like a freaking PhD and become a brain surgeon or like a rocket scientist or something crazy like that. But they're just like, no, I don't feel like doing that. And good for them. So they have like a pretty, I don't know what a normal job means, but like it's a good job. It's nothing crazy though. And I feel like it could be, you know, different things for different people, but it seems like a pretty normal, healthy job, like a, you know, a 9 to 5 that they enjoy doing, and there's a good pay and a good benefits, and that's it. That's what I'm seeing. With this person hiking, I feel like this person could be outdoorsy. I think they like animals. This High Priestess is surrounded by a lot of animals. This Page of Cups is surrounded by a lot of animals, you know, with playfulness as well. It's giving me that vibe. I think nature and animals, this person spends a lot of time around them, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they're so grounded and why they're so level-headed. I think on this person's day off, they would like to, you know, go for a walk or go for a hike or go like canoeing or something like that. It just clears their mind. It makes them feel in touch with the world. I think that's how they recharge their energy, like in nature with animals. They could have a greater purpose that is related to the natural environment. Okay, maybe, and actually this is a really cool job, but for some of you, this person might be a vet. Or they work with animals in some way. Maybe they're like an animal groomer or an animal trainer or something like that. Or they could be a foster parent for animals. You know, they foster animals before they move to their forever home. Or they could have a job that is something about the environment. Like maybe they work for the government and they're in like the Ministry of Environment or the Ministry of Forestries or Fisheries or something like that. Yeah. Like for example, like when I keep talking about a normal job, I'm from a government city. So having a government job would be considered like a normal job, quote unquote. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into the deck that you guys chose. So I'm going to move these over. Oh, and yeah, I was getting Capricorn energy, and 10th house is related to Capricorn. They could also have Mercury in Capricorn, like Aquarius with Mercury in Capricorn, or like Capricorn with Mercury in Aquarius, Pisces with Mercury in Aquarius. You guys get the picture. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces are coming through quite a bit. All right, deck that you guys chose, which is the Sleepwalker Tarot. I just got this deck. It's really beautiful. It was a Kickstarter deck. I just saw 2626, by the way, which are the two numbers here, 2 and 6. Maybe this person is 26.
And actually, if they were born, this is going to be really specific, but it would be cool if this like hits the nail on the head for someone. I think if they were born in January, for example, January of 1996, they would be 26 right now, and they could still be a year of the pig, because like Lunar New Year is usually in late January or February, you know? So like if they were born in January 1996, I think that's still technically year of the pig. And that would be a Capricorn, which we spoke about before. So let me know if that is accurate, because that would be really cool. Okay, my group number 2s. So we are going to take a look at your compatibility now, starting off with physical compatibility. Woo! Oh my gosh, that just fell off the edge of the table. Woo! It is the Empress, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. Okay. You know what's actually really sweet though? It fell off the edge of the table, but then it landed on my fluffy rug instead of landing on the cold, hard floor. So maybe I'm reaching a bit, but it could be a message that it is safe for you to fall for this person, because the universe will catch you. You'll have a soft landing. It is safe for you to fall in love. It's safe for you to be vulnerable. It's safe for you to get like intimate with them. For your mental compatibility, we have 2 cards coming out at the same time. Oh, it's the 8 of Swords with the Queen of Cups. For your emotional compatibility, we have the 10 of Wands. For your spiritual compatibility, your spiritual connection, we have the Queen of Swords. What will you do together? What will you create together? What will you achieve together? The Magician. Wow. What would they like to say to you? A message from your person. The 7 of Pentacles. And then let's look at the bottom of the deck energy as well. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Swords. Okay. And I was kind of thinking that way with the Queen of Swords as well. I am getting separation energy, but I can interpret separation energy in a couple of different ways. For some of you, this could be a person that you are currently in separation with, and you're having a reconciliation with them. Or for others, it's like there is an ending that needs to happen in your life, or an ending that needs to happen in their life, so that you can come together. So maybe like you're with someone else, or they're with someone else, or you need to walk away from something in your life, or they need to walk away from something. But there's an ending that happens before your union, or there's a separation that happens before your union. And that's the feeling that I get with this 10 of Swords. I do think that at least your souls have been in a separation before. I don't know if it's in this lifetime, but I think it has happened with the Queen of Swords. I think that you have had lifetimes together before, but not for a while. It does seem like you kind of went off to do your own thing, and you're coming back in this life, and your souls would say it's like nothing has changed. You know, those friends that like, even if you didn't see them for 2 years, when you meet up again, it's like no time has passed. You're like right where you left off. All the love is still there. The vibes are still there. I think that's kind of how your souls feel about each other. So even if you had like 50 or 100 incarnations without each other, when you came back, like the recognition will still be right there and the love will still be right there. And actually, when you meet this person, you could have a weird feeling of like, where have you been? Where have you been all my life? Or this feeling of like, I haven't seen you in forever. And your logical brain is like, duh, you have never met this person. Like, what are you talking about? And it's like, no, like it feels like someone that you haven't seen in a million years and you're so happy to see them again. So I think that's happening on a spiritual level for sure. For some of you, I think this did happen in the 3D where you had a separation and you're coming back together. Or maybe you've been separated by physical distance and you're coming together. But yeah, there's some kind of separation feeling. So let's talk about this Empress right here to represent your physical connection. This is like the best of the best. I think that the two of you have the same style of showing physical affection. So for example, if you are a very like lovey-dovey, touchy-feely person, they will match that. They will have the same affection style. If you're not super cuddly or touchy-feely, then they won't be either. It's like you're on the same vibe like that. I think you'll feel the same way about PDA. I think you'll feel the same way regarding like sex, whether you are very, very sexual or not sexual at all. I think you'll kind of be on the same page about that as well. And I think that you make each other feel extremely safe. You know, the Empress is a very loving, nurturing, protective kind of energy. So whatever level of intimate you're getting with each other physically, you feel incredibly safe, and you also feel very beautiful in the process. You feel very beautiful and you feel very loved. The Empress can also talk about creation and parenthood. So for some of you, this could be indicating that you'll have children with this person, or it could be indicating that you will create a lot of things together. And that kind of goes over to the Magician, but you and this person have unlimited potential to create things in this world and to birth ideas into this world. And when it comes to what you'll make together, I feel like the possibilities are endless, but also the list is so long. Like you two will be prolific together with the things that you make. So maybe you'll create a lot of art, or maybe you'll have a lot of businesses and side hustles, or you'll have a lot of like humanitarian efforts that you do together. You do a lot together. You create a lot together. I feel like this is indicating you guys kind of being joined at the hip. And I think you never get tired of each other because you're able to just exist together in silence or exist together with no pressure, which is really nice. But yeah, this is like, it's one of the best cards to get ever. So definitely your physical compatibility is very, very good. I think that you are both each other's type physically, or at the very least you find each other to be extremely physically attractive. And I think you give each other a lot of validation about that. And your physical relationship seems to be very sweet, very safe, and very intimate. Of course, depending on what type of intimacy you like and how far you like to take it. But yes, it looks very good. It looks very, very sweet. Now, with your mental compatibility, this also looks very sweet. This energy is just all sweet. It's interesting that we see both of these people looking tied up, but the message that was coming to me here is that your person is endlessly patient with you. I think both of you, you're endlessly patient with each other and accepting of each other. And you would never want to change the other person. I think you only desire each other to love yourselves and to thrive and to feel comfortable. And there's a really big theme of just feeling completely safe and secure and allowing yourself to soften, allowing yourself to like settle down into yourself, if that makes sense. It's kind of a weird way to say it because I'm thinking of like loving someone's insecurities away, and I don't know if that's even a thing. I think that at the end of the day, like, we have to love ourselves to overcome our insecurities. But I think that the reason that phrase came to my mind is because whatever you might feel is unworthy about yourself, or whatever negative thoughts you might have, I think that this person just like bombards it with love. You know what I mean? Like, never lets you feel like it's a flaw or that it's a problem or that you're bad for it. So whatever insecurity you have, they just bombard it with love. Or whatever little, I don't know, annoying flaw you think you have or trait that needs to be fixed, they bombard it with love. It's just, they just want to shower every bit of you with love. And so it's not like loving the pain away or like loving your insecurities away, but it definitely creates a really healthy and beautiful environment for you to heal and to learn how to love yourself. And I think that you feel the same way about them too. But I think this is a person who recognizes that you don't heal by beating yourself up or by demonizing certain parts of yourself. You heal aspects of yourself by giving them space and giving them love and showing them compassion. I can kind of use myself as an example. I recently found, well, I've known this about myself for a while, but I tend to like hang on to people's words and be like, what did they mean by that? And kind of assume the worst. Like, I kind of pick apart, oh, what did they mean by this little subtle thing and this little detail? And I was beating myself up for it. I was like, oh, that's so annoying. That's so extra. Like, you're being too sensitive. And I realized that that wasn't helping me heal at all. It was just making me feel bad about myself. And if I frame it in a different way, I can show myself even gratitude. Like, look at you looking out for yourself, and like, you're just looking out to make sure that you're safe and making sure you get the treatment that you deserve. But you don't have to be so hyper vigilant. It's like telling that part of yourself, like, I appreciate you. I understand what you're doing to try to protect me, but it's okay. We're safe. We don't have to do this anymore. And I think they help you kind of see parts of yourself in that way, rather than like, ugh, this is so annoying. You know, especially with like being too sensitive or being too much. They help you to not see it in that way and to actually appreciate those parts of you. I hope that that makes sense. But you kind of create this environment together of like, every part of us is safe to come out, which I think is very nice. So next we have your emotional compatibility, and this is the 10 of Wands. So something that I think you guys really can understand each other, something that you guys can really bond over, or something that you have in common. I think you both have a past of one-sided relationships, or you both have a lot of experience of being the fixer in relationships, or being the person to carry all the burden, to do all the work. That's probably why this person has such good boundaries now in the first place and is so selective with their energy, because they know the cost of not being that way. They know that when you're too open and too giving, it does unfortunately open the door for people to take advantage of you, to drain your energy. And I think both of you share this past.
And you both never want, it's just like, you never want the other person to feel like uncomfortable or drained. You do everything you can to make the other feel supported, and I'm saying the word safe a lot, but safe and heard. I think you're both excellent listeners to each other, and I think that you empower each other. So rather than like doing each other's healing work or like doing each other's emotional labor, you help empower each other to like carry your own weight, if that makes sense. I think that this person helps you solve your own problems by like helping you see the truth of the situation, asking you the right questions, helping you find the right thing to do, but they don't like step in and solve the problem for you. And I think that you're both very responsible in that way, where you take accountability for yourself and you solve your own problems and you support each other without like ever either taking advantage or taking on too much. It's just like a really nice balance. I hope that I'm conveying this accurately. I think it's a really healthy dynamic, and I hope that I'm doing it justice and explaining it with good words. So next, we spoke about this, your spiritual compatibility with the Queen of Swords. I think this is indicating that there was a separation at some point, and now there's been a reconciliation. I don't necessarily think that anything bad happened. It seems like there was a mutual decision to go your separate ways for some time, and this is the lifetime where you decided it was time to come back together. I think that maybe the two of you hadn't come to a place yet where you could be together without feeling like you needed each other or that you completed each other. It was like you relied on each other too much to feel whole and complete, and you both realized like this isn't healthy. We need to develop our own senses of self. And so it feels like it was a mutual decision to separate, at least from the perspective of your souls. They mutually decided like, okay, we should be apart for some time and further develop our sense of self so that we truly feel like whole and complete individuals, and we can come back together in a healthy way. We spoke about the Magician being your infinite potential to create anything in this world. And I think you will dabble in a lot of things with this person, because like you can create art, you can create businesses, you can create inventions. Like there's so many things you can make, and I think you're kind of gonna do a little bit of everything with this person, because we've already seen how intelligent and capable they are, and I think you match them in a lot of ways. When you're the Magician, there's nothing that you can't do. Like you have everything it takes. I think you guys are gonna do a lot of manifestation together as well. Like, because you're both into spirituality, I think you'll be very actively, working together to manifest your dream reality. You could do scripting together, you could make vision boards together, you could do rituals together. It seems like you are very into harnessing your divine creative power together. It's interesting, I felt like speaking about this when we were talking about your physical relationship. Some of you guys, when you're like physically intimate, it could be a very powerful manifesting ritual. Yeah. So then we have the Seven of Pentacles, and this is what they want to say to you right now. I definitely think that they're coming through to say, first of all, I've been waiting for you. I've missed you. I've been waiting a long time for you. But they always knew that it would be worth the wait. And I think that also makes a lot of sense from this separation energy that we got. Your souls have been separated for some time, and they want you to know that they were always waiting. They always knew that one day
you would see each other again, and they knew that it was going to be so worth it and that it was going to be so amazing. And they want you to know as well, if you're ever doubting, if you're ever struggling to find hope, they do want you to know that it's absolutely going to be worth the wait. I just heard like they're proud of you for not settling. I don't know if that's talking about like settling for other relationships or just in life in general. They're proud of you for not settling and for knowing that you deserve the best, and it's better to wait for something that is really best for you than to just take the first thing that comes your way. So they're proud of your patience. They want you to know that they have been patient as well, and to keep being patient and to keep being perseverant. So we're moving on to the last part of the reading now. So this is going to be, I just noticed the picture on here. That makes a lot of sense. This is going to be messages and advice from your spirit guides regarding this connection or anything else that they would like to talk to you about. So we have, Mystic Messenger. The downloads you are receiving are higher messages and codes that are meant to be delivered to the collective through you. Wow. And we have unicorns. So it's time to embrace your weirdness. It's time to embrace your spirituality. I think it's no coincidence that the numbers 3 and 1 are the numbers of the Empress and the Magician. It's time for you guys to share your talents with the world. For some of you, it's time to share your spiritual gifts with the world, because the ideas you're receiving, it's more than just a project. It's more than just content. It's a message that a lot of people need. You might think it's just little thoughts that pop into your head, but it's a very important download. So share the ideas that come to you. Don't sleep on them. The world needs them. And then we have this one, sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. Yeah, definitely a very powerful physical relationship that the two of you share, or when the two of you come together, the creative energy is very, very strong. And so there's no limits to what you can manifest. There's no limits to what you can birth in the world. This maybe sounds weird, but it looks like or maybe it was the intention of the card actually. There's like a portal between this person's legs, and I think that there is that metaphor of you and your person being the portal through which things that this world needs are birthed. Like, you birth ideas to the world because the world needs them right now. You birth inventions into the world because the world needs them right now. It's almost like, yeah, you are that portal of like, hey, universe, what does Earth need right now? Please allow it to be birthed through me so I can help this world. And that's why you'll create so much together, because you're open to that cosmic inspiration. And nothing you create is a mistake, and no ideas that come to you are a mistake. We have cultivating courage. So we have repeating C's. We also have C on comet. So that could be a significant initial. So someone's first, middle, or last name. It could also be the first letter of a city or a country or a company that is significant to this connection. In any given moment, I always know exactly what to do. So I am noticing kind of a common theme in all of these cards so far, because they all have a message of connecting back to your divine intelligence. This is you opening up to infinite divine intelligence. This is you opening up to infinite divine intelligence as well. And even like the place in one another where you are one eternal soul. This can be said for, and I know, yes, it is a special connection between the two of you, but this can be said for anyone in the world. There does exist a place where all of us are one eternal soul, where all of us are source. And that as well is infinite divine intelligence. So your guides just really want to remind you of that place that exists within you where you can access that intelligence. And it's interesting because we were speaking about your person being claircognizant, and it's very clear that you can tap into that as well. In fact, you can tap into any of the clairs. You can tap into a myriad of psychic experiences. And then finally, we have practice compassion, and we have the number 15, which is the number of the devil, which is the card of Capricorn. So Capricorn energy seems to be quite significant, and Capricorn even starts with a C, and we had all of these C's here. And compassion, see things from a fresh perspective. And isn't that just what we were talking about? Like learning how to see traits that you have, habits that you have, quirks that you have in a compassionate way. Not to see them as flaws, but as something that your very intelligent brain developed for your survival, to help you, to protect you. I think this connection is really going to help you to show unconditional love and compassion to yourself. And again, with all these animals surrounding, yeah, I think this is an animal lover for sure. Even this person is surrounded by animals, by unicorns. The Empress has a bird flying around. Yeah, this person like has a lot of animals, or fosters them, or just likes spending time around them. You could also find that animals love you guys. Like if you go out to the park, all the dogs want to say hi to you. Or animals seem to follow you around. Maybe birds constantly appear on your balcony. So squirrel comes. My stepmom is like that. Animals always like coming to her like a Disney princess. But yeah, I think those are all the messages that I have for you guys. So my wonderful, beautiful, stunning group number 2s, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And definitely check out Cindy's video as well if you feel called to. It's going to be linked down below. And just to remind you, her video is going to be all about your journey. So how you're coming together, how it's all playing out. Yeah, if you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have over 50 exclusive readings to date, plus 2 new ones every month, and you get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me, and I truly appreciate your support. Group number 2s, I just saw 5544. I am sending so much love to you, to your person, to your spirit guides, your loved ones, and your whole spiritual team, both here on earth and in the spirit realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s, nope, hi number 3s. So if you guys chose the Key and the Lucid Dreams Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So I do have a list today of all of the stuff that we are going to cover in today's reading, but before we look at that, I just wanted to share a few intuitive messages that came through about your person, because there are several of them. and I want to share them before I forget. I actually counted 5 messages that came through, which is a lot. So maybe this person's higher self is very chatty with you, or you have a very strong psychic connection, but let's just get into them. So the first one that came through is that your twin flame, your soulmate, your person, they either have a very strong sweet tooth, or in general, they are a foodie, like they love to eat. The other thing that came through is that they are a people person. So they love to meet new people, they love to socialize, they love to get to know people. I think that they're the type of person who they're kind of like a sponge, if that's the right way to say it. When they're around people, they're very good at matching the vibe, but they also absorb like the mannerisms, the speech patterns, little quirks of the people that they're talking to. They kind of start to like mimic them. And I don't think it's something that they do unconsciously, but they're just very good at matching the energy and matching the vibe. And I think that people in general really inspire them when they think about all the different people in the world of all different walks of life doing their best to day in and day out. It just really inspires them. And I think that this person is artistic in some way. I don't know if they do it for a living or if it's just something they do for themselves because they enjoy it, but I think that they make some kind of art, and it is very much inspired by the people in their life, or just inspired by humans in general, like how amazing they find humans. That inspires them to create this art. What else came through? I'm trying not to forget them. I saw this dynamic. I don't know who is who, but it's like there's one person who is more like the worrier type, and then there's another person who's just insanely chill. And I saw this scene play out of these two people, like you and your person, and one person is going like, oh my gosh, are you still in your pajamas? Are you crazy? Like, we're gonna be late. We have to go. And the other person is like, oh no, we're fine. Like, we still have lots of time. Just relax. And the other person's like, no, we gotta go. And lo and behold, you did have enough time. And then the chill person is like, see? And I feel like this kind of dynamic would happen a lot in your relationship. So it's like one person's super, super chill, but they're usually right. Like, it is okay. We did have enough time. We didn't need to worry. And so hopefully the person who is the worrier can learn a bit to chill from the chill person. Oh my gosh. And there was also a crab, and it could be indicating that this person has Cancer placements, but I'm hearing that that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I just had a visual of a crab, and this crab could indicate this person could like crabs. It could be their favorite animal, or it could be their favorite food, because some people eat crabs. It could be that they come from somewhere where there's like sand or ocean, beaches. Could be that they're crabby in the morning. But yeah, I think that that was everything. I hope so. Whatever. If it's important, I know that it will come back because it always does. But let's actually see what the crab passage says in the Spirit Animal book. I'm curious. That is the wrong way. Crab. Here we go. And it's on page 84. In case that's relevant. You're about to experience an unexpected shift in your surroundings or in your personal life that will be beneficial for your soul's path. You'll find yourself becoming increasingly clairvoyant, which is very funny because I saw the crab and that's why I'm reading this. You'll find yourself becoming increasingly clairvoyant, able to see things from the non-visible realm more clearly. You're missing a lot by staying too focused on what's directly in front of you rather than incorporating the subtleties of what you see and hear peripherally. Pay close attention to promptings from your subconscious, which will come through dreams, visions, and flashes of insight, and bring these to the surface for guidance and to manifest them in the physical reality. Put on some of your favorite music, dress comfortably, shut the shades, and dance. Okay, so reading this, It's probably your person who's the chill person. They're helping you to let loose and have more fun. But there's a message here that you need to pay a lot more attention to your dreams and subtle feelings that you get, because they are trying to tell you a lot about this connection. So finally, let's take a look at this list, everything that we're going to be looking at in today's reading. So I'm going to put Cindy's info here as well, what's going to be covered in her reading. I just saw 555, by the way. But over here, we are going to be seeing your person's physical traits, personality traits, and astrological placements. And then we're going to be taking a look at your compatibility. And this is going to include your physical compatibility. So that's like your level of affection with each other, your sexual relationship, if you're interested in that, your mental compatibility, which is how you communicate, how well you get each other, your humor, things like that, your emotional compatibility, and spiritual compatibility, which is like your soul connection, your psychic connection. And then we're going to see what you will do together, make together, or achieve together in your relationship, and what they want to tell you right now. So we're going to get a message directly from your person. And then we're going to close off the reading with messages and advice from your guides. And it's my intention with this part of the reading that your guides can come through to tell you what you need to know about this connection. However, they might have other messages for you about other areas of your life, and I'm going to leave that open to them. So that is everything for the reading, and let's get into the cards. So as you can see, there are 3 piles of cards here. I've split up the deck into major arcana, court cards, and the rest of the minor arcana. So we're going to shuffle and take 1 card from each of these piles, and then the combination of these 3 cards will represent the main traits and the main energy of your person. So let's ask your guides to come through for this part. Spirit guides of group number 3, can you help us get a major arcana that best represents the energy of group number 3's person? What major arcana represents them the best? Oh my gosh, we have the Lovers! That's so cool, because this is like Gemini energy, and I feel like that matches so well with what we were talking about with like matching other people's energy, being a sponge for other people's like mannerisms and traits and speech. In fact, I often read it that way, so that's why like I'm so surprised that it came out. Okay, let's get... Oh, and also very strongly indicates telepathy going on between you and your person. So probably also explains why I was flooded with so many messages before even looking at the cards, because you're talking to each other all the time. Like your higher selves are, I mean. And that crab says you need to pay more attention to that because they're talking to you more than you realize, or more than you allow yourself to believe. We have the Queen of Swords, and we have the keywords passion and power. And then let's get a minor arcana as well. 3 of Swords with affairs of the heart. Okay, so wow, very strong words as well. Passion, power, affairs of the heart. We have repeating P here with the keywords. So P could be an initial, first, middle, or last name. It could also be the first letter of a significant city, country, company, place in general that's significant to your connection. I'm noticing that all of the people on these cards have grayish hair. So this person could have like gray hair, or like a rusty brown colored hair, or like a dirty blonde colored hair. I don't think they have bright hair. I will say that for sure. I think that this person is on the taller side and on the more slender side. I think that they have kind of narrow eyes. Everyone in this card, well, their eyes are actually closed, but I'm thinking of it as like narrow eyes. They could have monolids, or they could have like, I don't know what you call it, when it's like a double eyelid, but it's kind of, oh, hooded. There we go. Hooded eyes. And I think that they're in good physical shape. I think that they have good posture. They come across as confident. I think they like to experiment with their wardrobe. So they like to try like dressing in different colors and different styles. And I think they like fashion actually, or they like to buy a lot of different clothes, and like they have an extensive wardrobe. They could do something related to fashion for work. And for some reason, I was also getting like dentistry. I think that might have been the thing I forgot to say at the beginning of the reading. Like fashion, dentistry, or something that has to do with people's aesthetic. So it could also, yeah, it could be like a fashion designer, a stylist, makeup, dentistry, which I know is not necessarily cosmetic, but it can be for like aesthetic purposes. Something related to beauty. Usually when we get into like visual and aesthetic jobs, I also think of like photography, architecture, landscaping, like in the business of making things look good. They could also be in the business of helping people build their brands, or even managing public figures, because they're people. They're good at PR, they're good at business, they're good at sales, like they're good at convincing people, they're good at matching people's energy. Even realtor, like my dad is a realtor, and he's also has a lot of Libra energy, and he's so good at meeting people at their vibe, which is like very important for business. And yeah, there's a lot of air here. So again, it's giving me like sociable, talkative. There's an extroverted vibe to this person. I definitely think they have a lot of air placements. Gemini, like we mentioned, and I said Libra as well, and Aquarius. Yeah, this is Libra energy, the Three of Swords. Yeah, it's, I want to say Saturn in Libra. And Saturn is actually the ruling planet of Aquarius, which is another air sign. So yeah, air signs are coming through very, very strongly. Symbols of this person that you might see: storks, cranes, swans. Those are relevant animals. Yes. Okay, so I'm getting like a lot of information at the same time. Let me chill a little bit. So in addition to this person being a people person, this person could be a twin, by the way. Like they could have a twin sibling, or they could be your twin flame. But I think that in addition to being like an extroverted people person, this is also indicating that they are very romantic. Like if I read this a bit more literally, I think they do believe in the idea that there's like the perfect true love out there for them, that there is the one out there for them. I think they do believe in soulmates. They're open to this kind of concept. I don't think they've scratched the surface that much. I don't necessarily think they recognize telepathy between the two of you, because their mind is so busy already. So they probably just, like if your higher self was talking to them, they probably just mistake it for their own thoughts, like one of the other 4 million thoughts that are in their head. They're definitely hearing you. I just don't think they recognize that it's you. Or maybe it's that the voice of your higher self is so similar already to the voice of their own higher self, so they just can't tell the difference anyway. But yeah, I think this person has a very busy mind. I think this person is extremely intelligent. I was gonna say they're capable of lucid dreaming for sure, and then I realized that the deck we're using is called the Lucid Dreams deck, so that's kind of funny.
I think this is someone who believes in fate. They're highly accomplished, but I think they're very humble about it. You know, rather than giving all the credit to themselves, they'll say like, oh, I was very lucky. I was very blessed. I had a lot of people helping me. You know, they're not like, oh yeah, that was all me. Like, I'm so amazing. I think they're very, very intelligent, very talented, but they're so humble about it. And yeah, they feel like, oh, I'm just lucky. Like, this is just my moment of success. And one day I might not be successful anymore and someone else might be successful because it's their time. And like, that's okay. So they kind of see everyone as equals. And I feel like that's an Aquarian thing. There's just a lot of air. There's a lot of air going on with this person. With the Queen of Swords here, they're very witty. So they have a very clever sense of humor, and I think that not everyone gets it. They are able to see the humor in dark situations or sad situations. If they really wanted to, they could be very good at persuading people to do stuff. I don't think that they abuse that skill that they have. I think they use it in a way that is favorable for everyone. But they're like a very shrewd, I don't know if that's the right word, a very sharp business person, and they can be very good at sales, and I think they're very good at arguing too. They would be probably a good lawyer as well. They're just very sharp and clever and quick. They can probably like, if they're watching a movie, they probably figured out the ending like in the first 3 minutes. They're like, oh, that person is going to be a traitor, and this person is actually a ghost, and they're actually cousins. Like, they just figure it out because they're smart like that. Yeah. With the Queen of Swords, sometimes she can be like cold and distant. I'm definitely not getting that from this person. I think that this person is incredibly warm and cheerful, and there's a spot for everyone at their table. Like, you always have a friend in me. That doesn't mean that they like drain their energy or that they let people take advantage of them, but they're just very kind to everyone, and they're very much like I will give you the benefit of the doubt until you prove me wrong. So they're not suspicious of people. They're not wary of people. They're like, I will trust you and I will respect you and I will give you the benefit of the doubt until you cross me. So like, I'll give everyone a fair chance. I feel like that's the vibe. They're very fair, and yeah, they want to see a more equal world. They want to see a world where everyone gets the chance to shine, because again, they're just so inspired by people and the potential of people. This art that we spoke about before, I think they're keeping it to themselves at this time. Even if what they do for a living is kind of artistic, like if they're a fashion designer, for example, they have some other thing that they don't share. Like maybe they write songs, or they write poems, or they paint. It's like they do something, and it's not just a hobby, it's like their own sacred little thing. And they're going to show you, of course. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Why don't you show people? Oh, it's not that great. It's just for me. I can see that kind of exchange going on. With the Three of Swords, I think that this person is incredibly sensitive and sentimental. And they're very romantic about you and very passionate about you, and they take it very seriously. I do think that they're a chill and easygoing person, but there's some instances, like, for example, if they ordered you a birthday present online and it didn't arrive on time, it would be like hard for them to let go of that. Or like if they booked a reservation for this restaurant that you really, really wanted to go to, and like they wanted to wine and dine you, but then like the food came out late and it wasn't very good. Like that kind of stuff, when they're like, I wanted to shower you with love, I wanted to do this grand romantic thing and it didn't work out. I feel like that kind of stuff, they can kind of get in their head about it, and you're like, oh my God, it's okay. Like, I'm just happy to be with you. But
And that's kind of giving me Leo vibes now. They want to do like these big things for you and they want it to go perfectly. Also, it's kind of Piscean because it's like very idealistic, very romantic. So when it comes to you and like showing their love for you, I feel like they take that really freaking seriously. And then otherwise they're just like, meh, it's fine. Yeah, I just sounded like a duck there. Maybe ducks are also important. Okay, let's take a look at our astrological cards. We're going to use these to clarify the tarot cards. So to clarify the lovers, we have Gemini figures. Yeah, the air energy is strong. The twin imagery, the telepathy imagery is strong. We have North Node with fate, and we were talking about how this person believes in fate. We also mentioned that P could be an important initial, N could as well. Destiny, life goals, lessons, journey, calling, mission, challenges, soul purpose, the future, karma, learning curve, the destination. Yeah, I think this person is definitely in their calling. Like the job that they have is what they're meant to do. It's what they're naturally very, very good at. I think they do work a lot. There might be times where you don't see them as much as you would like to. Or there might be times where like you wish they would work less. Like it's the weekend and they're checking their work emails. Like they can get, it's not all the time, but they can get kind of like obsessed with it, you know? And they're like, hold on, I just need to like do this one thing. Yeah, it's because like they're so into it. They feel so fulfilled by it. And I think people who work with them, clients, coworkers, employees, whatever it might be, just love them. Like freaking love them. I think a lot of people know them. They're very well known. So when you go out in public, people recognize them. And people might stop to talk to them. And then we have Taurus with cultivate to clarify the Three of Swords. And again, this is making me think of like a sensitive and romantic person. I think this is someone who is abundant in the material sense. They might have gone without in the past, but now they're in a very good place financially. And it's important to them, like they want to provide for you and they want to share their blessings with you. They really, it's like this person enjoys spoiling you in some way, like wining and dining you, or giving you gifts, or taking you out to experiences, whatever it is that you prefer. But it makes them feel good to like give to you in that way and provide for you in that way. I think that especially in a romantic relationship, this person is incredibly giving and they're very, very attentive. Like they're very good at sensing how you feel or sensing what you might need. They're also very thoughtful. So if you mentioned like 6 months ago that you like something, they'll remember that and like get it for you or allow you to experience that. Even the smallest little things. Aw, we have the number 2 here. So this person could be a life path 2, or they could be like 2 years apart from you, for example, or they could be born on the 2nd of a month. Maybe like May 2nd if they're a Taurus, or like June 2nd if they're a Gemini. You get the picture. Or the month of February could be significant to this connection because it is the 2nd month. But yeah, it seems like work and finances and security is like quite important to this person. Okay, so let's get into the tarot deck that you guys chose now. So I'm gonna move these over here like that so that we can put the rest of the cards below. I think, I didn't take reversals for the other groups, but because these have the keywords and I really like using the keywords, I think we're gonna take reversals for this group. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we are gonna take a look at the compatibility between the two of you now. So we're gonna start off with your physical compatibility. What card will best represent the physical compatibility between group 3 and their person? I do think that from the time that you first meet to the time that you initiate a physical connection, it will take some time. For some, it could be that you start out as friends, or it could just be that you meet, but you don't have a lot of time or opportunity to get to know each other on a deeper level. It seems like it's kind of slow to start, or it could just be that you guys are people who like to take it slow. But yeah, it's, for example, like from your first meeting to your first like intimate encounter, it seems like it will take a while. Or if you are not like a sexual person, then it could just be like your first physical contact. So maybe like you don't really start holding hands or hugging for a while. And maybe again, it's because you started off as friends, or you just take things slow like that. But that is one feeling that I'm getting. It doesn't seem like the type of person who will like try something on the very first date. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just, I think that they're very cautious about wanting you to know that they're gonna take things seriously. It's like they don't want to give you the wrong idea. The first time you are intimate or like have physical contact, it could be kind of, I don't know if clumsy is the right word. It's definitely not awkward, but like, for example, I don't know, like you go to hug each other and then like, you know, you don't know like which side to put your head on, and it's like, and you're like giggling, or like your first kiss and they accidentally like kiss your nose instead of your mouth, or something silly like that. Or maybe like you knock something over or something like that, and then you kind of like awkwardly giggle, but it's not actually awkward. It's like cute, you know? Ooh, okay. How many is that? Okay, we can do 2. They both came up in the upright. So this is for your physical compatibility. We have Queen of Pentacles and the Fool. So Fool, definitely, even just from the way this person is like standing, I think this is just about throwing caution to the wind and like releasing all of your inhibitions. It very much gives the feeling of losing track of time and space and just being in the moment. You're the only people in the world. We have new beginnings, innocence, originality, fearlessness. So if you are like sexual people, this could be indicating that you kind of like experiment and try new things, and it feels very like refreshing and exciting and different from what you might have experienced in the past. We also have spontaneity, so it's like I feel like you will spontaneously you know, like you just in the heat of the moment, you're like, oh, they look cute, I can't keep my hands off of them. You just spontaneously end up connecting like that.
I think this is a type of person who will like give you hugs and kisses out of the blue, who will give you kind words out of the blue, like because they're just so taken by you. It feels, yeah, spontaneous, adventurous, very organic. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, practical, generous, welcoming, sensible, luxurious, caring, homebody, good business sense, working parent. Some of these keywords can definitely fit. I definitely think that this Queen of Pentacles is speaking to your person's nurturing traits, and again, that they are incredibly generous, and they certainly take their time, and they certainly know what they're doing. And they can kind of do it all. Whatever you feel like on that day, whatever you may want or need, they can do it all. So, physical compatibility looks pretty good. There is a chair here, which could be relevant. But there's also rabbits. Oh my god. There's rabbits on the Queen of Pentacles card, so this could be indicating that you are at it like rabbits. And of course, all of this energy can be applied to a relationship that is not sexual, so just spontaneous acts of affection, a very nurturing energy, very generous. I think this person has a very like firm embrace, so they could hug you very tightly or hold your hand very strongly so that you feel like safe in their arms. And again, they're very attentive to you and to your needs. Let's take a look. I just saw 3223, so 3223, which is a mirroring number, and those numbers could be significant for you. So what about the mental compatibility between group number 3 and their person? Ooh. We have the Two of Wands, choice, decisions, first steps, choosing path, future planning in the dark, preparing to leave, comfort zone, should I stay or should I go? So the Two of Wands often indicates like two options or two paths. I think that you guys both see eye to eye in the idea of like, you want to reach your full potential, you want to remain ambitious, you want to remain dreamers, you want to like challenge yourself to go out of your comfort zone, you want to see everything that the world has to offer you. Like, you're very much on the same page when it comes to that. I think that you guys are both really into like personal growth and self-development. And so you'll have excellent conversations about that, and you'll be excellent supporters of each other. I think that you do have differences in opinion on various things, but you don't butt heads about it. You actually are very grateful to each other for offering a fresh perspective, like offering another opinion or another way to look at things. So, you know, rather than it being like, you're wrong or like, I disagree, it's like, oh, that's an interesting opinion. Like, may I also suggest blah, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. That's actually a really good point. So you're not saying that the other person is wrong. You're just offering like another way of looking at it. And I think that will especially happen when you're, you know, thinking about the path ahead, trying to carve the path ahead for yourself, or thinking about options for your future. So I think you guys have a lot of conversations where you're like helping each other make sense of your next steps and what makes the most sense for your future and what you want to get out of life, those kind of talks. And you might say something like, well, I think that my next steps are this, this, and this, because this is where I want to get. And then they might say, but what about this path? I feel like that might be a better fit for like what you have going on in your life right now. That might be an easier path, or it might be more effective. Oh, you're right. Okay. So it's like you're offering other perspectives in a constructive way to bring a new point of view that the other person couldn't see on their own. So we're not contradicting, we're just opening the options more, if that makes sense. And I think that's how you go about a lot of your discussions. So you're never trying to like negate the other person. And I think that's really healthy. You know, when we have the number 2, it's this idea of duality. It's like two things can exist at once. And so I think your differences in opinion and your differences in views, like they coexist really well together. And you're just very good at like pointing out things that the other person didn't see, if that makes sense. I think that you guys don't really have the same sense of humor, but then that makes it funny. Like, I can use myself as an example. My partner and I do not have the same sense of humor, but then like when he shows me things that he finds funny, I laugh, not because it's funny, but because I'm like, how do you find this funny? But then it ends up being a funny experience. Okay. Now, let's look at your emotional compatibility. Oh, all these cards are coming up in the upright, so I think we're just... No, we'll see, but they're all upright so far. We have the 6 of Cups, which is very, very sweet. Nostalgia, childhood or the past, memories, familiarity, gifts, innocence, reunion, joy, healing, comfort, sentimentality, and pleasure. Aww. Yeah, the number 6 is about harmony and balance. So I think that your emotional compatibility is like bang on. It is right on the nose. It is perfect. The number 6 also makes me think of health. So it's like you have a very healthy emotional bond together. I think you're both quite like romantic and affectionate. I think you both really enjoy giving the other romantic gestures or displays of affection. I think you're both kind of sappy or you're both quite sentimental. And so it works really well because the things that you get emotional about, they get emotional about. The things that are a big deal to you are a big deal to them. And so expressing your emotions to each other feels very validating. You quite often relate to each other. It comes naturally. I think in a lot of relationships, we don't necessarily get emotional about the same things or think that the same things are a big deal, which is totally fine as long as you respect the other person and like validate their emotions. But I think for you guys, you really do like feel the same way and process your emotions the same way, and you naturally relate to each other. And so that makes the emotional compatibility aspect really, really easy. Like if you're the type of person who, when something's bothering you, you want to talk about it right away, they will be the same. If you're the type of person who needs time alone to like process your thoughts, they will be the same way. So working through your feelings together is quite easy, I think. You feel extremely comfortable around each other, for sure. And I think that you either had a very similar upbringing, you could have the same roots. Like, for example, I don't know why this came to mind, but like you're both Jamaican or like you're both Italian American, or so you kind of had similar dynamic in the household, like with your grandparents, for example. Not that everyone from the same culture is the same, but I think you guys know what I mean. Either that or you were just very, very similar as children. So like maybe you were both very shy children, or No, yeah, like going back to the culture thing, I was just thinking of like, you have the same comfort foods, you know? Like the same foods bring you back to your childhood, or the same songs, you know? You're like, oh yeah, my grandma used to listen to this like on the Spanish radio when she was, I don't know, doing work in the house. Like you kind of have similar memories like that, and you can kind of reminisce together, or like you watch the same TV shows. So I think that you're roughly from the same-ish generation. I also get that feeling. I don't think you would be like way older than each other. Well, anything's possible, but it seems like you have a lot to relate to each other about, and the same things make you sentimental, the same things make you emotional. And I feel like you were kind of brought up with similar values, and you kind of went through the same hardships growing up. So you just really get each other. That is the feeling. Okay. So let's see about your spiritual compatibility. Whoa, the Four of Wands. The Six of Cups and the Four of Wands are like, and the Lovers, these are all giving very, very strong divine counterpart energy. For the keywords, we have 1111, homecoming. This is also like feeling familiar, feeling like home. Celebration. Yeah, you guys have a whole freaking soul family that when you come together in union, they will all be celebrating up there in the spirit world. Like everyone is rooting for your union. Your union will feel like coming home to each other. Yeah, this is divine counterpart energy straight up. That's the kind of spiritual connection you have. We have harmony, marriage, family, friends. So your families will come together and love each other. Your friends come together and love each other. You could even have like your families and friends being each other's soul family. Community, gathering, stability, belonging. Yeah, a match made in heaven, I will say. So let's also see, what would they like to tell you right now? Oh no, we have what will you do together? What will you accomplish together? And then what would they like to tell you? For the other groups, I was taking all of these at the same time, but for some reason for you guys, I'm like doing them one by one. So for what you'll do together, we have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, you are freeing, you're helping to free each other, not just each other, people in general. You're helping to free people from their self-imposed prison of thoughts, from their limiting and negative thoughts, from victim mentalities, from feeling trapped, helpless, powerless, from feeling like a victim. You guys are big motivators in this world, and it starts with you. I sound so cheesy right now, but it starts with you guys freeing yourself from your mental prisons. And you're not just living as example. I feel like living by example, sorry. I feel like you're actually spreading this word. Something about your joint mission is about uplifting people and reminding people of how powerful they are, reminding people of what they're capable of, that they don't have to be a product of their past, that they don't have to be a product of their negative or intrusive thoughts, that every day they can wake up and choose a new life. They can choose to reinvent themselves. You're spreading the word that there's always hope. It's giving motivational speaker. You could have like a joint social media. Like you could have a channel, like a channel together, a YouTube channel, or like a podcast. or maybe even a TV show, I don't know, but you're joining together in some kind of media, and you're expanding people's consciousness through the ideas that you share, and you're also freeing people from the shackles of their mind and freeing people from like limiting conditioning so that they can start living a more empowered life. That's cool. And what would they like to tell you? Woo, that is a lot. Well, I'm not surprised that they would like to tell you a lot because they have been very chatty even from before this reading started, and they've just been coming through with the messages nonstop. What would they like to tell you? We have the Chariot. I'm going to take this in reverse, I think. Lack of movement, self-discipline, opposition, giving up, losing direction, forceful, powerless, aggression, and obstacle. Very interesting because we just got a card that's talking about limiting and negative thoughts, feeling trapped, feeling powerless. And then we have this lack of movement. So I think what they want to tell you is that right now, your own negative thoughts or your own limiting beliefs are causing a stagnation in your life. And they want you to remember how powerful you are. And that it doesn't have to be like this. That you can get up and dust yourself off and keep going. They're by no means like rushing you or pressuring you to take action. They just want to remind you how powerful you are and remind you that ending this stagnation or ending this slump that you might feel in your life is very much in your hands. You can turn this around. But in order to do so, you may have to look at some tough truths. You might have to look at the ways in which you've fallen into a victim mentality, or like the false narratives that you've created because it's easier than facing your fear, which is taking a leap of faith and pursuing what you want to pursue. You might be making excuses when really it's just that you're scared of doing it because like it's a fear of failure, it's a fear of rejection. It's not actually I don't have time. It's not actually I'll do it once this is over. It's like I'm scared and I'm just telling myself this story to delay my dreams. I think they're nudging you a little bit to take more action and take more responsibility for the outcome of this path. Because if you go for it, you can make it happen. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Generosity, giving, overspending, greed, openness, financial insecurity, and reckless. So for some of you, it could be money worries that are stopping you from moving forward, or like a lack mentality. Yeah, it's like the next step in your healing journey is getting over this lack mentality. I think that you guys have more than enough, but it's like you have more than enough energy, but you give it away. And like we were just talking about this in, I don't remember if it was the future self reading or the like message from your person reading, because I filmed them like back to back. But there was this message of like, you have more than enough energy, but you're just giving it away to everyone else. And then you feel like you don't have enough. But if you claimed your energy and your resources back for yourself, you would see that you have enough. So it's like as much as you can, I know we don't always have the luxury of keeping all of our time and energy and resources, but as much as you can, like, take an honest look at how you might be allowing other people or situations to drain your energy such that you don't have enough for yourself anymore. And then one other last thing that's coming through with this, because we've spoken about how generous and giving this person is, and we also spoke about how they like buying a lot of clothes. They might they might splurge a little bit too much sometimes. I mean, they can probably afford it, but I think they definitely like treating themselves. Okay, so let's take a look at your final cards now. So these are going to be messages and advice from your guides. We're starting off with, wow, overthinking kills your happiness. That's reminding me of like freeing yourself from mental prisons. I also think, I think this is the person who helps you to relax more, who helps you to let loose and have fun more. Sunflowers could also be a sign of them. So what do we have? Storks, cranes, swans, ducks maybe, and sunflowers. And we also have a lot of hands. This could be like a metaphor of your soul family cheering for your union, but it could also be indicating that your person does something with their hands for work, or the art that they do. It's like very manual. And then this says, stand by me, you will not feel this emotional forever. So yeah, your emotional compatibility is amazing. And this is definitely not someone who shies away from emotion. So whatever you're feeling and whatever phase of life you're going through, this is like, we'll ride all the waves together. Like, I'm not afraid of that. And you know, sometimes you might feel very emotional when it comes to this connection. Maybe you miss your person. Maybe you wish you were closer. And I think your guides are saying it's not going to be like this forever. And with Stand By Me, I think your guides are reminding you that this person really is always with you. You can probably hear them talking in your head right now because they're literally always talking to you. Oh, this is very pretty. We have reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. So I think this is just a reminder that if you're not in full-on union right now, it's because you're not meant to be yet. Like, if you have space from each other right now, it's because you're meant to have space. There might be some things that you're meant to reflect on by yourself. And we trust that everything's going to happen at the perfect time. We also have polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. That makes a lot of sense. And then we have be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. I feel like most of this is just speaking to the amazing emotional bond that you have. Like, you're healing together. You're validating each other's emotions, you're supporting each other, you're standing by each other. But at the same time, like, I think you spend a lot of time together, talking things through together, healing together. But at the same time, if you ever need your alone time, I think that's something that you guys like very much respect, especially you, because I feel like this person, like, they just love being around people all the time, and they're like extroverted, talkative. If you're more of the introverted type, they're definitely very respectful of that. And if you ever needed alone time, like, they would never take it personally. Or like, if they're pretty high energy and like active and you're more of like a mellow person, they'll always like respect whatever vibe that you need to feel comfortable. And they're pretty good at matching vibes anyway. Like, that's just, it comes very naturally to them. But yeah, I feel like I'm talking about a lot of things right now. That was just the nature, like the way these messages come through. Is it a lot for you guys? Because I feel like they're always talking to you and giving you like all kinds of messages. But I think it's probably quite endearing for you guys to hear from their higher self so much. I think that this person, no matter how busy they are, I think they message you or text you a lot, because there's just like little things throughout the day that remind them of you, or something that they think you like and they send it to you, or they're just popping in because they want to check on you and see how you're feeling. Like, they are very communicative no matter how busy they get. So, and I think that's some traits to recognize this person. No matter how busy they are, they'll always, and it's not even make time, because they're not actively like, okay, I need to make time for group 3. It's just something that happens naturally. Like, they naturally want to communicate with you more. They naturally want to share with you more. So that's one way. Like, you won't even really feel that they're busy because their level of presence or level of communication doesn't change. Even if they're super busy, they're constant in your life. So that's one way to recognize them. And then the other thing is that, yeah, they won't sleep with you right away. That's coming through. It will take a while. Maybe they're building the anticipation, or maybe it's just not the right time. But that was like another specific thing. I'm also realizing butterflies are significant too, because there's butterflies all over this card, and then the reflection one, if we can just flip that over, also has butterflies. Yeah. So group number 3s, I think these are all the messages we have for you today. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And definitely check out Cindy's reading as well. That's going to be linked down below. And just as a reminder, her reading is going to be all about your journey together. So your journey to union, how it all comes together. So if you guys are interested in knowing more about that side of things, then definitely check her out. If you guys enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have more than 50 exclusive pick a card readings up to date, plus 2 new ones every month, and you guys get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me, and I truly appreciate your support. My lovely group number 3s, I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, your spirit guides, your loved ones, and your whole spiritual team, both here on earth and in the spirit realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the little cat and the Divine Feminine Tarot, this is going to be a reading. So I do have a list today of all the stuff that we're going to be covering in this reading so that you guys can get an idea of what we're getting into. So I thought I'd show that to you guys first. Here she is. I'm gonna put the information of Cindy's reading here as well, but over here in my reading, we're gonna see your soulmate, twin flame person's physical traits, personality traits, possible astrological placements. Then we're gonna look at the compatibility between the two of you. So this is going to include your physical compatibility, so that's like your physical affection and your sexual connection if you're interested in that. Your mental compatibility, which is communication, how well you get each other, your humor. Then we have emotional compatibility and spiritual compatibility, which is like your soul connection, your psychic connection, the journey of your souls together. And then we're going to see what you will do, make, or achieve together in this lifetime.
what they want to tell you right now. So that's going to be a message directly from your person. And then we're going to finish off the reading with messages and advice from your guides. It was my intention that they can come forward at this point in the reading to tell you anything you need to know about this connection. However, they might want to talk about something else, and that's fine too. So I'm just going to leave it open to your guides, whatever they want to tell you. So yes, this is the reading for today. And as you can see, we're starting off with 3 piles of tarot cards. I've actually split up this deck into major arcana, court cards, and then the rest of the minor arcana. So what we're going to do now is shuffle each of these piles and pull 1 card from each. And then that combination of 3 cards will represent your person's main energy, your person's main traits. And yeah, okay, so let's get into it. We're gonna start with a major arcana, and we'll ask your guides to come through. Woo, all right. They came through quick. So we have the Empress for your person's major arcana. Oh, wow. Okay, there is something that's coming through right away. For this part of the reading, I've felt called to ask your spirit guides to help with this part. Like, what is the card that would best represent group blank's person? And I just think it's so interesting that I asked your guides to come through to help us get a feel for your person, and they shot the Empress out right away. I think something that your guides are saying is that they really, really love your person. They love this person for you. They can't think of a better match. Like, they're so happy that you have found them, or so happy that you will find them if you haven't met them yet. Woo, that came out really fast too. For the court card, we have the King of Wands with the word action. So that could also be a message from your guides that some action is required on your part. If you know this person already, your guides could be encouraging you to take some kind of action towards them, to reach out to them, to make your interest known. Or if you haven't met them yet, then there could be some action required to get things moving on the path to meeting them. So it may be time to finally make a change that we've been wanting to make, finally pursue a new path that we've been considering. But I do think that adjustments are required either to meet this person or to get into union with them. Like, we can't just keep doing everything exactly the same as we are now. Maybe we need to put ourselves out there more. Maybe we need to, like I said, start that new path that we've been thinking of. But I feel like, oh, and there's a lot of rabbits. There's a lot of rabbits going on here. Once adjustments are made, your path will speed up exponentially. I think these rabbits are a sign of speed. And let's get a minor arcana as well. Ooh. The 7 of Swords with betrayal. So in terms of possible astrological placements, we're going to look at more later, but what I see so far is Taurus and Libra energy with the Empress because she's associated with the planet Venus. We also have fire sign energy here with the King of Wands. So that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And then the 7 of Swords, this is kind of specific, but this is Moon in Aquarius. So over here, we do have the Empress, and this means that your person is very beautiful. The Empress is like the epitome of beauty, of physical attraction. And I could also say that it's quite likely that your person is doing well for themselves, especially like financially, in their career. They are likely self-employed, or they are some kind of boss with this King of Wands, because being a king, that is the highest up of the court cards, indicating a high position. But especially when we get the King of Wands, this is someone who thrives when they are in charge. And in fact, I would say they need to be in charge of their own life to be truly happy. I never see the King of Wands as someone who does well taking orders from other people. They need a high degree of freedom, a high degree of independence in their life, and they need to be able to have like a limitless space for their ambitions. So whatever new ideas they have, whatever new things they want to pursue, Like they need the freedom to be able to do it. Like, oh, I want to start this new business today. I want to try out this new creative idea. And with the Empress too, which is all about birthing and creativity, I feel like this person is extremely creative. I would bet that they have multiple businesses, like multiple companies or multiple projects going on, or they might have like a job and then have a bunch of side hustles. And especially this person only does things that they are passionate about. Like they can't do a soulless job. They can't do something just to make money. Their heart and passion really needs to be in it. And then because they pour so much of their soul into what they do, it yields great results. So yeah, I'm getting like definitely self-employed, being their own boss, multiple income streams, multiple businesses. They're like a creative entrepreneur kind of vibe. This is what I'm getting from them. This could be someone who, I think they don't have a conventional schedule. Like, oh, I wake up at 8 a.m. and sleep at, I don't know, midnight. It seems like their sleeping and waking schedules might be like not consistent, or their work schedule might not be consistent. So sometimes they could be really, really busy and working their butt off, and then other times they're very free. And that's just based on like what they feel like doing and how much they feel like working. I feel like this is very much someone who just, they're not super like regulated and regimented. They kind of just wake up every day and decide what they want to do. Like very, very free. They've created a life for themselves that allows a lot of freedom. Looking at this King of Wands, his hair and eyes are the same color, and also all the rabbits are the same color. So I feel like this person has, like their hair and eyes are the same color. So like brown hair, brown eyes, black hair, black eyes, or like gray hair, gray eyes, at least their natural color. They could dye their hair, you know, maybe they have blue hair and blue eyes, I don't know. Or like goldenish hair and goldenish eyes, something like that. I think you guys get the picture. I think that this person is very physically fit, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of working out or bodybuilding, or if they just take really good care of their physique. I think this is someone who puts a lot of care into their diet and their health as well. Like I'm seeing someone who goes to the gym and who takes supplements and things like that. They might dabble in some kind of natural medicine or natural remedies as well, or they get the most cutting edge products and methods to boost their health. And I think also that this person is very well connected, and they have a very cool house. I don't know what that means. It could be that the design of the house is very cool and modern, or the inside of the house is really cool because maybe they have a lot of interesting furniture, or maybe they collect things, and so you're walking around the house like, wow, look at all of these CDs, look at all of these freaking, I don't know, snow globes. Like getting a glimpse into their house is really getting a glimpse into them. They have a lot of items around that represent them. Maybe every item in their house has a story. Maybe they have really cool kitchen gadgets, but it's something where you walk into their house and you're like, holy crap, this is really nice. Yeah, and I think that this person could either host a lot of parties or go to a lot of parties, because I think they're very well liked, and I also think that networking is very important to them. So I'm kind of getting the sense of someone who, yeah, they have a high position or a high status. That is the vibe. This person, it might take a while for them to commit, because generally with the King of Wands, like this is a very loving person for sure, and they have a lot to offer, but the King of Wands usually takes time to commit, or could even be wary of commitment at first, because this is someone who's so, like, they need their freedom, they need to feel free. So they might have this idea that like settling down would tie them down in some way. And just sometimes it can kind of take them time to come around. But it's interesting that we have the Seven of Swords, because this is about not really seeing
the truth of things. So it could be that this person they have this narrative of like settling down and committing is going to take my freedom away, or maybe they have some hang-ups from past relationships. Maybe they were betrayed in the past with this betrayal, and so that's why they're a little bit wary. Like they don't want to get hurt again. I do feel like usually, I can't speak for everyone, but I think many times when we're afraid of commitment, it's like there's also kind of a fear of getting hurt that lies below the surface. Well, at least for this person, I think that's definitely what this is talking about. I think that this person could also be a public figure of some kind or have a social media presence. And the reason I often connect the Seven of Swords to that is because it is kind of about like deceptions and personas and putting on a mask. And I think that anytime you have a level of public recognition or you have like an internet presence or something like that, you're not showing your 1,000% real, raw, unfiltered, unedited self. You do kind of have to put on a persona in some sense. And I think a lot of us just do it subconsciously, you know, like KINO is not 1,000% the same as Carrie. And that's good because you should have that healthy boundary between like your private life and your public image. So I feel like your person has a public image or has a brand that is kind of important. Yeah, they do have a presence or a platform of some kind, but I think few people get to really see the true them, you know? Yeah. I also think that this person's quite level-headed. They're very passionate, but they're not reckless in any way. They don't get like carried away in passion, if that makes sense. They're very level-headed. They think carefully about their decisions. I also think they have a very even temper, you know? Like they're able to remain calm. They're able to have a healthy detachment from their emotions. And I'm hearing that's actually something that has helped them to be successful and that's helped them to become wealthy. So maybe I don't know, maybe they're good at investing or something. Maybe they like buy stocks and then they just detach from it and don't bother about looking at the ups and downs, and that ability to remain cool under that pressure like helped them become wealthy or something. But anyway, I also think, yeah, this is not the type of person to get like angry or to lose their temper. I think whatever conflicts you might have in the relationship, you're able to resolve them very peacefully. I think this is also someone who's very good at using their words. Like they're very good at concisely describing how they feel and what they need. So you don't really have to ever like guess when it comes to them or read between the lines. I think they're pretty like self-aware for the most part. So let's take a look at some astrological cards to clarify these. To clarify the Empress, we have Sun. So this could be indicating, you know, we mentioned Taurus and Libra before. This could be indicating that it's their sun sign. Okay, no, that glare is coming from the ring light. I'm gonna do like this. Does that make it a bit better? Whatever. Yeah, it could be indicating that Taurus or Libra is their sun sign, or the sun is also related to the sign of Leo, which I think we mentioned before with the King of Wands. So again, Leo energy could be significant. And then to clarify the King of Wands, we have Lilith with taboo, darkness, untamed, intensity, independence, so that makes a lot of sense. Interesting, erotic, sexual liberation, temptation, secret desires, fetishes, shadow side, empowerment, and destruction. Interesting that we get this card to clarify the King of Wands, which has a lot of passion and a lot of creativity. So this could be indicating that if you guys are looking to enter into a sexual relationship with someone, this could be indicating that this person is highly like that and interested more in exploring that realm, exploring fantasies, experimenting, and things of that nature. I'm even getting kind of Scorpio vibes from them.
this person has a massive amount of energy and they're able to channel it into manifesting massive things on this earth. Like, this is a very powerful person. Oh yeah, and then we have Scorpio. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, to clarify the Seven of Swords with betrayal, we have Scorpio with investigate. So yeah, I think that this person has a past of being effed over in personal relationships, but perhaps also in business. And so they're very selective about who they partner with. You know, Scorpio energy can also be about business partnerships, but Scorpio tends to be quite protective of protective of themselves and very selective about who they show their vulnerable side to and who they are intimate with. So yeah, I think your person has been messed with a lot in business, and also could have even been like had shared some information and then had it used against them. You know, like blackmailed essentially is what I'm trying to say. And because of that, I think that they're very, very careful about the information that they divulge, and they could come across as kind of secretive or mysterious at the beginning of your relationship because they're not going to trust you right away. And it's not personal. It's like they can't afford, or that's how they feel. Like, I can't afford to trust people right away because I did that in the past and like, look what happened. I think that this person has been burned quite badly. So that might be something that's important to remember when you're getting to know this person. It's not anything personal. They're not trying to create distance. They're just quite cautious about being vulnerable, and they're quite cautious about who they will trust. And I just have to, every relationship has easy energy and difficult energy, and I want to be honest about something that might be difficult. With this investigate, Scorpio can sometimes have like a probing energy or like going really deep. They might sometimes, when you're together, read deeply into things that you say, or you might feel sometimes like they're questioning you or like questioning your intentions. And so that might be like an initial obstacle that you have to overcome, like at the start of your relationship. It just seems like it would take time to build trust. And maybe you guys can understand like that, like perhaps you have a similar past, and so maybe you think it's natural that it will take some time to build trust. But I just wanted to mention, like, for those of you who were like hoping or expecting that this person just be like burst wide open right away and sharing everything, it seems like it's going to take some time. So let's move on now. So for the next part of the reading, we're going to use the tarot deck that you guys chose, our beautiful Divine Feminine Tarot. And in this part, we're going to take a look more into the different aspects of your compatibility. All right, I'm going to do one more because this deck is very nice to shuffle. Okay, my group number 4 is, let's start off with the physical compatibility between group number 4 and their person. Okay, we have the 3 of Cups, mental compatibility, the King of Swords, emotional compatibility, Four of Cups. And spiritual, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. What will you do together? What will you create together? What will you achieve together? We have the Eight of Wands. What does your person want to tell you right now? A message directly from them. We have the Lovers. Aww. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Devil. Okay, so this is definitely, there's going to be a lot of personal growth and spiritual development for both of you in this connection. With the Devil here, there's a couple different ways that I can interpret it. The first one that came to my mind right away, okay, actually there's three, which is interesting because this Devil has three people on it. But yes, there's three interpretations that are coming through with the Devil. One is that there is an insane chemistry between the two of you. The Devil is like magnetic. I cannot take my eyes off you. I cannot get my mind off of you. Like, I'm just flooded with thoughts of you all day. And then when I go to sleep, I'm flooded with dreams of you. It's a very strong, intense magnetic connection. And it can also often indicate a very, very strong physical and sexual attraction. And honestly, like, kind of becoming addicted to each other, but not like in a bad or unhealthy way. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough of you. So yeah, I think that you guys are going to be like magnets. It's very likely that you'll feel, I've never been so attracted to someone before in my life, and vice versa. And like, I've never experienced this kind of like pleasure before, and vice versa. So that's one way to look at this. The other one is that I think that entering into this relationship will be beneficial for both of your reputations and both of your like positions in society. So you could help each other move up in your respective careers, like through the connections that you have. And yeah, being with them boosts your reputation in your circles, and being with you boosts their reputation in their circles. I hope you know what I mean. And I think a lot of people will think you guys look very, very good together. There's going to be a lot of people who admire your relationship. And also there's people who look up to you. And I think there could also be people who envy your relationship. So that's something to be careful about. You know, with this person having a presence, and perhaps you having a presence as well, you might want to keep this relationship a little bit private. I would recommend that. And then for some reason, I have a very strong soapy smell, which could be like, keep your image clean, keep your business clean. But also, maybe some of you guys are making soap, or like having a beauty line or something like that. The other thing with the Devil, I think, is freeing yourself from limiting beliefs. And that's super interesting because we've spoken about how in charge of their life your person is, and how free of a life they live, and how they do exactly what they want, and like nothing can stop them from achieving their goals. And I think that's definitely going to rub off on you guys. And this could also be a continuation of that message from your guides of like, put yourself out there more, take action towards the things that you want. You can do it. And sometimes the Devil is like this voice in our head that tells us we can't. And I think both your person and your guide really want to remind you that you can do it. Yeah. Sometimes insecurities might mess with you, and you think like this person is on a different level than you, or like out of your league or something. And it's just not true. Look at how inseparable you are. Look at how joined at the hip you are. You are the moon to their sun. I feel like in this relationship as well, regardless of your genders, I think that there is like one person who is very much in the masculine role and one person who's very much in their feminine role, or I should say more so masculine energy and feminine energy, because that doesn't mean you're in like traditional gender roles, but I feel like one counterpart has a strong masculine energy and one counterpart has a strong feminine energy. I did want to mention something with the Three of Cups, and this is really just for a few of you, so feel free to just disregard this message. You'll know if it's not for you. But with the Three of Cups, I couldn't help but wonder if some of you guys are in a polyamorous situation or in an open relationship, or if it's just like not just the two of you. And that, more than anything, that is confirmation for those of you who do identify as poly. Like, I see you here. If not, just ignore me. That message is not for you. But I thought it was interesting that these like three people came up, and here as well. All right, so I feel like I kind of already just spoke about your physical compatibility, but another thing that I see with the Three of Cups is that you could develop a friendship first with this person, or you could be at a lot of the same parties with this person, or be like introduced by a third party. I'm not sure what that has to do with your physical relationship, but maybe you just needed to know that. You know, we see these people who are drinking, or they're like, you know, celebrating, merrymaking. So I feel like you'll probably meet this person when you're out and about, possibly at a party or some kind of event. And you'll have like mutual people in your circles who kind of bring you together. But yeah, the Three of Cups talks, yeah. It could indicate that you're friends before you're lovers, but it could also be that before you meet each other, or before you really start to develop your relationship, you hear a lot about each other. Because the Three of Cups can also talk about gossip, or, you know, like people talking about you. So before you meet your person, you might hear a lot of friends talking about them, or a friend introduces you or like lets you know about them, and vice versa. Like they'll hear a lot about you from people in their circle before meeting you, so that when you come together, it's like, oh my gosh, like I've heard so much about you, you know? Yeah. And then we have your mental compatibility represented by the King of Swords, which is awesome because swords is the suit of mental stuff and communication, and the king is the king of those things. So I think it really does go back to that previous message of your person being an excellent communicator, of knowing exactly what they want, what they need, how they feel, what they think. They're very, very clear with their thoughts, intentions, opinions. There's not a lot of second guessing with them, like we said, and they can have a healthy discussion without letting emotions cloud their judgment, or without getting carried away in their emotions. They're just able to really like detach and cool down and talk about things in a level-headed way. So it's very easy, not only is it very easy for them to express their thoughts, what's on their mind, but it will be very easy to make yourself heard as well. So yeah, it looks like there is very, very smooth communication between the two of you. I really feel like you will have no complaints when it comes to understanding each other. It doesn't mean that you agree on everything, of course, but it means that when disagreements and conflicts do arise, and I was just talking about this with my friend, but a lot of us tend to take a you versus me approach because we get defensive, right? When it should really be us versus the problem. Like we should really be on the same team. And if we're ever feeling dissatisfied with our partner, or like we need something more from our partner, we have to remember that the objective is not to like blame them or like point out that they're wrong, but ultimately we're coming forward and sharing this with them because we want to feel closer to them. So it's just like, I think as a couple, you're really good at staying in that mindset of, it's not like a
a fight against each other. It's like we are tackling this problem together because it's in both of our best interests that both of us are heard and understood and getting our needs met. Like we both want that for both of us. And so, yeah, I don't think that there's a lot of arguing or like misunderstandings. I think that everything gets communicated very clearly and it just looks very, very healthy. And that's kind of all I have to say. So good for you guys. I love that. Next we have, and it's interesting that like the King of Swords is looking over at the Three of Cups, because like if you were in a poly or open relationship, I feel like you would need a lot of like good communication skills. Anyway, so with your emotional compatibility, we have the Four of Cups. This is quite interesting to me because just of the layout of this card, it looks quite different from the regular Four of Cups that we often see. We generally see someone sitting with their arms folded and their attention is to these three cups, and they're not looking at the fourth cup that's being offered to them. Whereas here, it kind of looks like the opposite. You know, this person is looking at the new cup. And so I think I'm going to interpret this a little bit differently than I would your run-of-the-mill Four of Cups, if you will. I think that the emotional connection that the two of you have, it's like you bring to light for each other emotions that were hiding beneath the surface, and you present them to each other in a way that is not triggering for the other person. You know, because sometimes having our deeper wounds or our subconscious emotions like put in our face like that, it can be triggering, right? But okay, I can think of an example. Your person, we've seen that they might have some wariness of commitment, and they might frame it as like, oh, I'm just a free spirit, I just like my freedom. And then you might help them realize like, hey, I think you're actually still hurting from past betrayals. I think you're actually afraid of being hurt. So you help them realize the true root of their actions, like the emotions that are lying beneath the surface and affecting how they behave, but that they might not see. You show that to them, what they weren't seeing, but in like a loving and gentle way so that they don't run from it, you know? Because sometimes when those things are delivered to us in a tactless way, we're like, screw you, that's not true, yeah, and we get defensive, right? So it's like, I hope you guys know what I mean. You're very good at showing each other, are you sure maybe you're not just afraid of this? Or like, where does that feeling come from? Does it maybe come from this experience in your childhood? Like, you get to the root of those things that can sometimes be ugly to look at, but in a way where you feel grateful for it and you feel liberated by it without feeling like attacked or triggered. So that's a very deep level of intimacy that you have right there. There's quite a bit of like Cancer energy too. Like this is the moon in Cancer, and this is Mercury in Cancer. I feel like mentioning that as well. So in terms of your spiritual compatibility and your soul connection, we do have the Eight of Pentacles here. So I don't really get the feeling that this person would identify as spiritual, but that doesn't mean that you don't have a soul connection, and that doesn't mean that you're not learning your soul lessons together. I think with the Eight of Pentacles, first of all, you've had a lot of lifetimes together, because the Eight of Pentacles has this feeling of repetition. So, you know, constantly doing something over and over. I think that, yes, you've had very many lives together with this person, and I'm hearing your guides are saying like you just keep getting better and better. I think that both of you as souls, you're very enthusiastic. First of all, you love incarnating. I don't know how you feel about it now as a human, now that you've made the choice to be here on Earth, but your souls are very enthusiastic about incarnating. I think they love being in a physical form. They love interacting with a physical world because there's so much to learn and there's so much to experience. And
they recognize how much growth there is to be had in like a physical experience. So yeah, I think you eagerly choose to incarnate and you eagerly choose to work together. Because I think both of your souls are really, you're like the Hermione Grangers of the class. You're very enthusiastic about learning and improving your skills. And I think you do kind of see Earth or see your lifetimes as a place to improve your skills and as a place to learn lessons. And I think that the two of you just work really, really well together. We have the number 8, so 8 does remind me of infinity. It could be that your souls want to be together forever. I also think it could be that when you incarnate together, you create a lot of abundance and you create a lot of good karma for yourselves. You just do really good work together. And what else did I want to say? Oh, spiders could be a significant animal for you guys. If you dream about spiders, it could be something about your person. Or if you see one, it could be their higher self popping in to say hi. I'm thinking of Charlotte's Web now for some reason, like the little piggy and the little spider that become friends. Yeah, it's been a while since I read that. Anyway, for some reason I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, and now I just wanted to say that 8 is an even number and we see 4 pentacles on this side and 4 pentacles on this side, and I think it really indicates like how both of you are putting in equal work into this connection, and you're both willing to put in the effort to make it work. And then we have another 8 right next to this, repeating 8s. Repeating 8s could be important for you guys, and we have an 8 here too. 888. That would be cool if someone is a life path 8 or like their birthday is August 8th, because we had quite a bit of Leo energy. And Leos can have Mercury in Cancer, so that's kind of cool too. Anyway, what will you do together? What will you achieve together? What will you create together? We have the 8 of Wands. So yes, this also makes me think that the two of you will have multiple things going on. The 8 of Wands is someone who has a lot of projects going, who has their hands full. Same with the 8 of Pentacles. Like, you guys, quite simply, I think you guys are both going to be like public figures, or you're both going to be entrepreneurs of some kind. And you're going to have a lot of different things going. I don't really see you focusing all of your energy into one area, you know? So maybe you're like a life coach, but then you also make soap, like we mentioned before. And you also write fantasy novels. And you're also a yoga teacher. Like, I think both of you have various hobbies and various skill sets. And in the future, you're using and exploring all of them. And I think that maybe for those of you who are monogamous, I think something that this 3 of Cups can indicate is that you guys kind of have a team that you see a lot of the time. So you spend most of your days together, but also with this team. So maybe it's like managers or assistants or employees or business partners. There's like, you kind of have that larger family that you're working with and creating with, and they really do kind of become like a part of your family, a part of your home. They're very dear to you. I think you have kind of a close-knit team that you work with, and, you know, very heavily screened team for sure to make sure that they're people you can trust. But I'm just thinking, looking at all this stuff you guys are doing, there's no way the two of you can do it on your own, because you only have so many limbs and you only have so many hours in the day. Yeah, so I think you'll have like a business team. Very cool. And then, next for a message directly from them. This is very straightforward. I think this is just them saying that they love you. And even though this person might not be super spiritual, I think their higher self wants you to know that the energy and messages you send their way, they are reaching them. So, you know, let's say you're sending this person love. Then when they're, you know, at their desk, tack, 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 that's them on the keyboard, they might suddenly feel like a little burst of joy, or they might suddenly feel warm and fuzzy, and they're like, huh, that's weird, tuck, 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 and keep going. So they might not have that awareness of like, oh, my soulmate's higher self sent me this message, and they might not even believe in that kind of stuff. I do think we have some skeptics in this group for your people, but that doesn't mean that your energy isn't reaching them or your messages aren't reaching them. Even I think they might see signs and synchronicities and just not realize it's you. Like, huh, that's funny. That's the 4th time I've seen a spider today, or like I've seen 888. Oh, and spiders have 8 legs. That's a funny coincidence. So it's like they do notice it. I don't know if they have that spiritual awareness or spiritual belief, but just do know that whatever you're sending their way, it is brightening their day, and it is lifting their energy and amplifying their energy, and that's all that really matters. And I do think that you can hear from this person's higher self through telepathy and through dreams. So, you know, their 5D self is always around, and of course recognizes the connection that the two of you have. And I think something else that your person would say to you is like, and it might sound cheesy, but they're literally saying, please don't ever change anything about yourself because you're perfect. Like, you don't need to change anything. You're perfect just the way you are. And yeah, that's inside and out. You're perfect inside and out. You don't need to change anything. But yeah, you don't need to change anything about your appearance either. They're like, I know it's not my decision and you can do what makes you happy. But it's like, if you felt like you need to change your appearance, something about that would make them sad. Like, no, you're perfect the way you are. But again, they know it's not their choice and it's not their business. But for what it's worth, I think you're absolutely perfect. Okay, so for our final cards now, this is going to be messages and advice from your spirit guides about this connection, or just about whatever they would like to talk to you about. So we're starting off with Valley of the Soul. Explore your divine blueprint to unearth your soul gifts, memories, and past life karmic ties. Ooh, so we already know that you have a very strong past life connection with this person. We know that your guides are pushing you to pursue something that allows you to use your soul's gifts, that allows you to utilize your talents. My eyes are going to, well, this butterfly, which could be about changing your life. We know that adjustments need to be made for you. But also this big globe. For some of you, relocation might be an important step to this journey. And I do think that you guys are meant to be some kind of star, because we have the number 17 here, which is the number of the star card. And interestingly, it adds up to 8, which is a number of abundance. And I don't know, I see you having a bigger presence than you do now. I do kind of see you being in the public eye or being very well known for what you do, but you're not putting yourself out there, or like you're not doing it enough at this point. And so your guides are saying changes need to be made. Like, we need to go for it. We need to make the changes, not just talk about it, not just think about it. We need to make those changes. Next, we have life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, so that's that butterfly, that's those adjustments we're talking about. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you'll be surprised where it leads. And actually, I'm gonna get another deck for you guys, because I just remembered about, it's a card in the Work Your Light Oracle, and it says, what does it say? You go first, the universe will catch you, or something like that. And it's about taking a leap of faith. So I think your guides are saying, like, you don't need to know where this whole journey leads. And of course it's stressful if you think you need to have the whole journey planned out. And maybe that is kind of what's holding you guys back right now. And I think your guides are saying you just need to take the first step and then like will come in and help you, will come in and co-create with you. Just take that leap and you'll be surprised about the chain of events that happens. So let's take a Work Your Light oracle card for you guys as well. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. And also at the bottom of the deck, we have Trust the Niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And then we have Share Your Voice, Come Out of the Cave, Persecution, Expression. I think you feel some unrest in your soul because your soul wants change. Your soul wants to come out of this cave. Your soul wants to see the world and show themselves off to the world. We can't keep doing the same thing. We can't stay in the same cycle. We need movement. Your soul wants movement. Your soul wants action. There's not enough room for these, but this was the first one that came out. It's really pretty. This is a beautiful deck. Okay, so next we have Discovering Happiness. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. So there's that message again. You're perfect. You don't need to change anything. And then finally, love makes the difference. Wow, love helps heal past hurts. So again, a lot of healing, a lot of spiritual growth in this connection. Love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. Aww, that's so sweet. And I think that I even like reading these two together. Like, healing past our hurts will help you feel content exactly as you are. So if you guys feel like you need to change something about yourself, you need to change something about your personality to be lovable. Like, I need to fix this trait about myself so that I can be in a relationship. Or if you feel like you need to change your appearance, it's objectively just not true. And that doesn't mean that you can't make those changes, but I think the key word is that you don't have to. And you are allowed to love yourself as you are. You're allowed to be happy as you are. And I think that healing your past hurts would allow you to see the truth of that. Just to give one hypothetical example, let's say that like somebody got bullied when they were a child, like for something about their appearance. And then when they're older, they have insecurities about the way they look, and they might think, oh, I need to get like plastic surgery so that I can be attractive to this person I like, or that so I can be like worthy and lovable, or whatever it might be. And they just see this as like an objective fact. Like, I just need to change this about myself because this part of me is bad. And then this person, after recovering those memories that they've suppressed and healing that past wound, they realize that they never needed to change. And it's this moment of relief of like, thank goodness I didn't go through with it, because I never needed to. Again, I'm not saying like you can't or shouldn't make changes to yourself, but I think your guides are lovingly encouraging you to explore the possibility that you don't have to make any changes. Yeah. So my group number 4s, my lovely number 4s, these are all of the messages that I have for you. So I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely check out Cindy's video as well if you want to know more about the journey that you are going through and the future with your person. That's going to be linked down below. If you guys enjoy my content and you would like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have over 50 exclusive readings to date, plus 2 new ones every month, and you get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And then finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means a lot to me, and I truly appreciate your support. Group number 4, I am sending you so much love to your person, to your team, your team on earth and your spiritual team, and much love to your guides and your loved ones. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.